stop.
He knows what I like.
Oh, that's the worst, and I hate everything.
Well, it's a symbiotic relationship.
It's not.
I read
It's
about
so
it in
bad.
science. Yeah. I think it's beautiful.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing. Everything's good on this end.
Oh, great, good. I'm terrific. Hi, Polo. What are you doing over here? Wow,
Don't let them let you now.
Yeah.
Too late.
Gosh, this dog is cute. Am I dropping frames?
Oh no.
How many? No,
Polo is
there's-
crashing the internet.
My frames are back. Why do you keep blaming things on my dog? Herbie, do you secretly hate dogs?
No.
Everyone knows that dogs love the taste of frame rate.
That's a fair point. If a dog gets its chompers on some frame rate,
Just give
those
them
frames are going to disappear.
give them some bandwidth bits.
I'm amused by mischievous animals,
Dogs can't
so
tell
it
it's
amuses
not
me to
their
blame them
actual
for things they couldn't possibly be responsible for.
Well, gosh.
Dogs love to eat things.
Polo is a
I love
good
to eat
dog.
things.
Man,
Polo is my
Maybe I'm a
favorite.
dog.
maybe you've been a dog the whole time.
Polo is my favorite dog.
It was me all along.
We for War has resubbed for 4 months in a row. Can't stick around, but glad to keep supporting. We thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Can I have the Krebs coaster?
Yes.
You have to take the crab, though.
Yes, you do. You absolutely do.
Okay, then I will also take the crab.
Yeah, it has
Actually,
to sit on top of your
Yeah. There you go.
drink.
There we go.
There.
And you can't
we've
ever
kept you
miss it.
sober. Miracles do come true. And we are foxhound.com.
That's impossible.
Let's play the game.
What a good
Does
idea.
anyone remember how to do that?
No.
I think we were about to learn how to
I've
do
got some
something new.
dice.
We are going to learn some stuff.
Should I roll
Yeah.
these?
Don't
I'll
feed
roll
them
against
to my
you.
dog.
I got 90.
Oh, wow. I lost.
Well, that's what happens when you go up
See you
against
guys
Lobos
next week.
Jr. You should have known better.
Well, yeah.
Leviathan9515 just subscribed for 5 months in a row. Leviathan, thank you so much.
Hooray.
Thank you.
Before we start playing tonight, let's talk about what we did last night. Brandon, what did you do last night?
I finished the new Wolfenstein.
Oh, how was it?
That was pretty fun.
Punch a Nazi?
Oh yeah. Well, it's mostly with axes.
Oh.
So you axe some nuts.
Oh yeah.
Rachel, are you alright?
I'm okay. How are you guys tonight?
Great. So
You're having a good time.
What happened on Dungeons and Dragons last week?
Okay, there we go.
I'm sorry, I'm new
That
at this.
was-
I've never done this before.
That was the question.
Yes.
We had some food at a tavern.
We saw Weepy Spencer
I'd
again.
like
Oh,
to
yeah.
point out I had no food at that
Yeah.
time.
That's true. Actually, we had lots of
liquid
drinks.
Yeah.
And those drinks became a point of contention for the locals, specifically the local guards that happened to frequent that tavern.
One of them.
Yeah, Julie in
Julie.
particular.
Julie.
Julie.
Yeah.
Guard Captain Julia was there. She got in some faces.
Yep.
And they had their dead friend that they were carrying around due to.
I do have to ask, was that Weekend at Bernie's thing, like that was the plan the entire time and I accidentally called it in
He
one?
has always been dead, yes.
I am so sad that I got that in
the
one.
day of
Like
his
that
birth.
was it's really
He
awesome.
was born pretty big.
Oh,
Condemned
The poor
by
mother.
bureaucratic shenanigans.
Anything can happen in the magical world of EBERRON.
It's
Yes.
true.
Apparently.
The zombies grow up, apparently.
He's not a zombie. He's
No,
just
he's
dead.
dead.
it's not undead.
Corpses
He's
grow
dead
up.
dead.
No. Now there is another country that does have undead in its ranks, and they love to send their soldiers on diplomatic missions to other places to be like, "What's up? I'm a skeleton. You gotta treat me like people."
You're obligated to hang out with me.
Something like that. What are you guys eating? I'm eating nothing. I'm a skeleton. This just falls out.
But it would be rude not to offer it to me.
It would.
No bums
Seconds,
about
please.
it.
What else happened last week?
We
That's it.
yeah,
It
that
got
was
really,
it.
it got really high.
Well,
that was good.
But before that, we met with Colette the day after our
Yes.
celebration.
We found our new
Yeah,
hideout,
yeah.
She introduced us to a hideout.
which was in the depths at the Raven Skull.
It's at the sign of the Raven Skull. As a matter of fact, if you take a quick... Oh, this version of OBS doesn't have visuals. Sorry, I had all the screens turned off. But if you look at the map of Sharn in front of you, yes, there is a raven skull down there.
That's
Look at
also
this
the
beautiful
icon of this
map.
campaign.
It's okay.
It's such a beautiful map.
It's
This is
fine.
amazing. Where did you get this?
I've made that.
Oh.
I mean, I based it off of the fine content created by Wizards of the Coast.
Love those guys.
Yeah, they're terrific.
I hear they do things.
They're good, but this is the city that you find yourselves in, and your base of operations is down where the Raven Skull is. And yes, you've been introduced to this as your as a place to meet, to collaborate. It's like a WeWork space. It's like a co-working space
I steal all
for
the
crime.
bears.
Hey,
Perfect.
They're
those are
sugar
mine.
free. I'm so sorry.
There really are gummy bears and they're mine. I'm taking them with me tomorrow.
Keep talking. I'm going to adjust the camera.
All right. Talk amongst
What else
yourselves.
happened? No, what else happened?
So-
We went about downtime activities.
Right.
Ix, in particular, had to indulge in some vice, which is a mechanic we use to reduce stress that we accumulate over missions, but it also involves your character's personal demons or whatever it is that's going on in their life. So she went to a creepy magic shop where a guy did experiments on her scars and then gave her drugs. And somehow this lowered her stress, because it's a really bad baseline with that girl.
It also lowered that video's opportunities to be monetized on YouTube.com. So we'll see. We'll just see how that goes. Maybe we'll fade to black a little earlier.
Have a little
in the future.
placard 30 minutes later.
Yeah, something like that. 30 minutes later, Ix is dead from a nap.
Finally, I can play a cool character.
Yeah, totally. And we wrapped up, I think. We did a few things here and there, a little bit of personal goals. But we wrapped up talking a little bit about the heat that the party had accumulated.
Yes.
The King's Shadows, regardless of whether people know them as that group or not, robbed a train, and they got pulled in.
Don't tell anyone.
Well, yeah.
This is why we have a heat problem.
And they, well,
we got accused for robbing a train.
you got accused of robbing a train, you got interrogated, and there's at least some people that are like, these folks, we got to keep an eye out. So there was a discussion of how do we get this heat lowered? How do we get the story out there that it's not us that we need to worry about?
It's the robots.
It's
Yeah.
maybe it's the robots.
It's
I mean, I'll leave
everyone.
that up. I'll leave that up to you guys to figure
it's-
out.
We were attacked by a robot.
It's
Yeah.
a robot, at least.
Yeah.
Sure. So this is not necessarily the direction that we need to go in, but the proposed sort of idea was maybe we could run a score where we try and convince the local editor of the Korenberg Chronicle, the most widely newspaper in all of Corvair, based out of the country of Zalargo, but published and spread across the 5 nations and everywhere in between of all the significant goings-on. Of course, the calamitous, dramatic robbery of a House Orion train would certainly merit front-page news if you can get that story on the right person's desk. So, what is a score? A score can be a bank robbery, it can be a train heist, it can be an assassination, or it can be talking to a dragon to try and convince them that this is you need a particular item from out of their hoard. It can be a dangerous horse carriage ride through a mountainous pass where you're delivering a VIP. It can be all kinds of things. The important thing about a score is that it's the whole party working together to try and achieve some goal. So before we do anything on the order of like, I want to do a score and we're going to do it in order to do this, I think the party has to come to some kind of consensus of like, well, what is it that we want to try to do? And who is it that we're going to try and involve as part of this? Which is to say, I think we're still in downtime. And I think as part of like talking with the rest of the party, you guys can continue to do information gathering, maybe even like try and meet with maybe the newspaper editor or something like that to try and figure out what it is that you would need in order to convince him or her of the validity of what your story is to begin with, or even if there's some other kind of avenue that you want to pursue with this.
What do we know about how we were actually caught on the train? I mean, we kind of jumped ahead to that.
Yes, very good point. So what I think is reasonable to consider is that it wasn't just the folks on the train that were responding to the fact that an entire section of the train was decoupled after some sounds of battle were heard. Someone got on the horn and contacted House Kundarak, which is the security house. If you look at the cheat sheet that I provided with all the different dragon-marked houses, they're the ones that provide mercenaries, bodyguards, hirelings. If you're protecting something, then it's House Kundarak that you want to speak with. And they were the ones that were providing the security for loading stuff onto the train. But they were also on call if something bad happened, which means that shortly after, the train got decoupled, and you guys pulled Harlan Spencer onto the train, preventing his untimely death on the rails. Basically, a couple of attack airships swooped in, shined some spotlights in your direction, and hauled you in.
But
Just
basically,
a giant net.
but they didn't necessarily know anything about what happened up to that point. They just said, okay,
No.
this is the problem. Let's take in everyone
they
who's
found
there.
they found a number of suspicious-looking, in some cases even smelly individuals in possession of their missing section of train.
Yes.
That, I think, is why they why they hauled you guys in.
Okay.
And I also assume that, like, unlike Dark Sun, you don't really want to mess with the law here in Sharn, because it's one of the biggest cities, right? And they probably have a really strong force.
We're also level 1.
And we're also, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We need 18 levels.
Kind of as is the point of the score. We're trying to keep a low profile.
Right.
We go fighting them in the
Yeah.
streets or not keeping a low profile by
Well, if we
need.
kill all of them,
Yeah.
then our score resets to 0.
I think there might be an infinite spawner.
I hated Baldur's
It's
Gate.
like
So-
GTA.
They'll go hire those
I
skeletons.
would say that Grand Theft Auto is probably really the best comparison.
Yeah.
If you want to rough up one particular member of the guard who's really giving you trouble, then maybe that's something you could get away with.
Right.
But if you cause a scene, then the cops are going to show up. And if you kill all of the cops, the army is going to show up. And if you kill all of the army men,
Stay
then a
puft.
tank will show up.
Man, I
If you
mean,
really want to find out what EBERRON tanks look like,
I kind of do.
no,
Well,
I
yeah.
understand.
That was actually my first question.
Save it a different slot
was,
first.
Yeah.
was what do we have to do to get a Magitech tank?
Can we quick save real quick?
Tank.
The stream appears to be video lagging. I'm going to try and, what do I change, my bitrate or something like that maybe?
Are you dropping frames?
Apparently I'm dropping many frames. Yes,
Okay.
that's a number of dropped frames. It's
Yeah.
more, it's a higher percentage than I would
Clear.
like to see.
You can lower your bit rate, but
It's this map. It's too beautiful.
It is.
Too
it's
many
the map.
colors.
It's 100% the map. Okay, I dropped it like 300. We're still dropping some frames. I wish I knew exactly what the problem was at all times. I'm gonna drop it.
Every time,
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
anytime.
Basically.
Unfortunately, that is not one of OBS's features.
Yeah.
Expressly does not provide that
It's
information.
really not. I can get some better like upload capabilities certainly, but it's not really giving me a whole lot in the way of options. Okay, well maybe that's better. I don't know. I apologize, audience members, for the dropped frames. We'll soldier on as best as we can. And meanwhile, what were we talking about? Killing cops?
Yeah.
Killing cops.
Kill some cops.
Okay, don't do it.
Magitech tanks.
Equinox MGs has subscribed for 6 months in a row. Magic subscriber money. Please stabilize the stream. What's the magic words for this? Kappa. It was Kappa. Kappa was it. Everything's.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, my complexion is cleared, and I'm now rich.
Are they trying?
Kappa!
Are they trying to one up each other? It's 4, 5, 6.
Pogchamp.
Yeah. Pog.
Did that do anything?
No.
You feel,
Kappa.
It's worth a shot. Maybe the hermit crabs are eating some of the bits.
Maybe.
Where's the author?
But yeah, so we were just establishing what happened on the train.
Last time.
Yeah.
Yes,
last time.
absolutely.
Sounds like that's pretty well done.
Right.
Okay.
So now we need to talk about what we're gonna do with this
Yeah.
editor.
And I think that if I recall, the plan as we last cut out was that we wanted to see if we could, by telling the story of what happened to us, especially what happened in the more forward cars, that we could maybe cast blame or cast heat upon the Warforged we fought instead of us, since he's larger and more notable.
We got one problem with that, and you know who it is. The fellow we tied up at Crossbow Point. He might tell a bit of a different. He might tell a bit of a different story. Of course, we also have two helpers, the two guards that somebody else, probably that Warforged, knocked out, and maybe.
Well, here's the thing: they don't know which side you guys were on.
Right.
Well, maybe they saw who knocked them out before they got knocked out. That'd be a big help because it wasn't us.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can just spin it so that it was, we knew what was going on ahead of time, so we were going to try and head it off. So
Sure, but
I
we still
think
have
we
to
need
deal
to
with.
make the guards the heroes. I don't think that we should ever cast ourselves as heroes in this. No,
Yeah,
Spencer.
I'd rather-
Spencer was a hero. He jumped in front of me to take a strike meant for me when I accidentally walked into a cart and I saw that big Warforged looming down over that knocked out guard.
if we're going to go with that angle, then we got to get Spencer on board as well then.
I don't think that'll be too hard. Especially since this gets him more jobs. Like, seriously, he gets press saying that he helped some poor defenseless girl attacked on a train and he put himself at risk to keep passengers safe. I think that'll play well for him. I think he should be the hero.
Only one problem is that I think most people in the car saw you get punched in the nose, if I recall, right?
Yeah, but they also saw me go with him to the back cars as friends. And he apologizing profusely. So if I'm saying he's a good guy, I think people will take my word for it, because I'd probably be the most inclined not to say so.
Well, that's fair and all, but we still got to do something about the guard we ran into. If he's telling a completely different story about us, that's going to look bad.
Yeah.
And even if we're not painting ourselves as the heroes, we got to make sure we're not painted as possibly the ones who were robbing the train. And unfortunately, a crossbow and a rope don't play well in that direction.
Yeah, that is a different kind of quandary.
Well, we don't have to convince him otherwise. We have to convince him not to say otherwise.
Right, right.
I get that ideally we don't want to be much of the center of attention because we don't want to draw
No.
attention
we
to
don't want attention.
ourselves, but we were there, we got arrested, we got to say
Yeah.
something about that.
Well, I was running away from a big scary Warforged. Got towards the back of the train, and the commotion, the carts came separate. You guys were running
Well-
just the same.
But that's your excuse. We don't really have one for a while we were all back there.
Well,
Well, we don't.
the idea of we're not all going to be interviewed.
Hmm.
Like, the interview needs to be to tell a story of what happened on that train, and you just need one perspective to sell the Warforged as a threat. We don't need everyone to believe it. We just need the populace. We just need that word out there, and that to be the plausible story.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, wanting to, if we can track people down to try and prevent anyone from giving a contradictory testimony.
Weepy ought to know where that guard is. And they worked on the same train, same shift.
Weepy's not having too much trouble not spreading the word. Spencer. At least just call him Spencer.
Get all weepy.
But he didn't seem to take too terribly much convincing after talking to Colette. I don't know if it sounds like this may be a solved problem as far as the other guards are concerned too, because otherwise, why did we get let out if another guard's going to step forward and point the finger at us?
Well, it may have been they had conflicting stories and they decided to give the narrow edge to the guard chief. We don't know exactly what happened to get us sprung.
Yeah.
Yeah, well-
Somebody was pinching the ranks above our jailer. That doesn't mean that the writer of this chronicle is going to believe us. He has got a job on the line too.
Well,
Yeah.
that's another good point. Is this something we got to run by Colette before we do it? She may have pulled a few strings and had the story told a different way to the local offices.
We wouldn't want to contradict an official story that she put out there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it's a relatively easy matter, and I think maybe any of you would have, just as a matter of routine, picked up the Kornberg Chronicle, which has announced, it comes out 3 times a week, and there's already been an installment in between the heist and now. And the announcement is simply that there was a heist, and some people were brought in, but there's been no word of official accusations or charges or anything like that, or even what was stolen. And the sensation seems to be that no one seems to know quite what it is that happened, because no one's talking about it. even though there's something spectacular that went on because a train got robbed.
Yeah. Is there any kind of a call, like, if you know anything, contact the editorial desk?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, sweet. Well,
Yeah.
I think that's one of our ends. As far as the other guard, I don't know if he'll be too inclined to go, like, running to the press and saying, wait, there's something we need to add to the story. Some people attacked me and tied me up, and then they gagged me, and they just put me in the corner. Like, I don't think that's going to be the story somebody wants to tell, especially since he didn't do his job very well. If he still has a job, I don't think he wants anyone to know what happened to him. I think he'll be pleased as punch to hear
That's a
about
fair
guards
point,
fighting
given
well
the
against a terrifying
specific
Yeah.
circumstances. I kind of
Yeah.
overdid it a little on the.
Well, there's just one more thing to add.
Uh-oh.
Hey, he was unharmed.
The other thing to add
Did
is
he have some
physically.
crabs?
we
Well,
might
He
wanna-
was severely crabbed.
Why did you crab the man? Sorry, Bill.
we might want to keep our names out of it because the houses that we stole from may also be looking for people
Oh, absolutely.
to
So
find out what happened. I don't know if we want to get their attention
Well,
either.
I traveled under an identity that I
Yeah,
don't
that
mind
was what I was-
burning and never playing again. So that name will be on the papers, and that name will never be seen in the city of Sharn again. Again, one interview, one side, and well, I just didn't happen to catch the names of anyone else on the train. It was also hectic and chaotic. I think that there's a lot to be said for telling a story of limited scope to set the stage for something fantastic. People want to believe the fantastic. People want to believe something amazing about a daring train robbery by a mysterious robot who's been captured and beat up the guards.
I can see it.
But we've got to find out how we can tell the story and how we can make sure they believe us.
Mm-hmm.
How hard is it to meet with the editor?
Dark genuinely is.
God damn it. Yes.
X, did you have something to say?
Yeah.
Oh, is it just more blood?
Yeah.
Oh, X, oh my god, girl.
Well, the paper said that if you are in possession of information and evidence as to what it is that happened, you should speak with Celis Fairbrook at the local Cornberg Chronicle office.
Like, do we just run down there? Like,
I
that's,
mean,
this
It's not out of
isn't-
the question.
This isn't much of a score, but
No.
legit, my plan had been wander down there and be like, hey, I was on that train. I'd love to tell the
So,
story.
yeah, that's not a score, but that's a thing that you could do.
Yeah.
What do we need to do before we even do that? Is there anything we want to get straight?
You know, if you're sure that guard we held up is probably not likely to talk, and you've kind of convinced me.
I think it may be worth checking in on, seeing if he's still employed. He probably doesn't want to call much attention to himself, but if he lost his job over this, he may have a score to settle.
We could talk to Harlan about that. He probably would know what happened to his fellow guards. And he'd be a safer one to talk to than the guard himself for a first contact.
Oh, sure thing. You know where he lives, don't you?
Yeah, I can take you there. It won't take long.
That would be perfect.
And using the city's secrets, if there's nothing else to discuss, Maddie will conduct a...
Of course, you two find your way to Maddie's secret dumbwaiter, and then,
Like, pull the rope. and
without
climb
too
up.
much time lost, you're in mid-Tavix Landing now, and you arrive at the step of the brownstone where Harlan Spencer lives.
Right here. That's
Yeah, so on that map, each of these different districts have like an upper, mid, and lower. As you might imagine, the upper spaces are nicer, they're newer, more expensive. And then the mid is a little bit more middle class, and then the bottom is the older, the more ruined, the more underworld pervasive of the areas. Here in mid-Tavix Landing, it's, not terribly residential. Most of the people that are working here are people, or that are living here, are people that work pretty close by. And Tavix Landing is where the House Orion lightning rail station is, which would have been very relevant to Spencer's job up until about a couple of days ago.
awkward.
That building with the big dome on it with the train, that's the House Orion terminus station.
Quick question: Is all of Sharn inside of like a mountain, or is it in the mountain?
It's on the side of, it's built into these cliffs
Right.
that butt up against basically where the ocean turns into a great river. You can see the river sort of sweeping past the. Yeah, that's sky. So when I was drawing this, I had a great plan for like
The thing
all
I'm
of the
covering.
buildings, and then when I got to the sky, I was like, I guess I'm just gonna color blue.
Just scribble on this.
And it just looked terrible, so I chopped it all off.
Aw.
I'm gonna do it over again, but this will work for right now because it tells you where all these things are. But yeah, there's cliffs that not only break up the different neighborhoods, they even serve as the base. There's the Memphis Plateau, which is literally up on like this mesa thing. There's the Central Plateau, which is a little bit higher, and there's North Edge, up in the Jeffmost corner, which is literally like a big suburb that's sort of up above the rest of the city. Although above even that is Skyway, which is this enormous floating disc that literally just levitates over top of everything else, and naturally plays host to all of the city's most prestigious restaurants.
Pflugerville.
Yeah,
That's from Round Rock, I think,
sure,
but-
yeah.
Round Rock? Okay.
Anyway, you arrive at Harlan Spencer's doorstep.
Well,
Shade Lang donated 1,500 bits, asking, "Am I doing this right, Kappa? Thanks for everything so far, y'all. So glad I get to watch another campaign from Fox Sound. Thank you, Shade Lang.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dim bits.
I don't know why the sound didn't play. That's weird.
Yeah. There was no sound.
There wasn't any sound, unless it's just like early.
Hmm.
I don't know. I
Stuck
don't
my-
know.
Sorry, I stuck my head out of the screen.
It's too bad. I have a special like bits sound. It sounds like bits.
What did
Man.
it sound like?
Man.
Maybe one day we'll find out.
Wait, hang on. Let me try it again. I can go to dashboard and go to this and redo it. There, I see the animation, but I don't hear any sounds.
I hope it's a recording of Brennan bits.
Is there a sound set for bits on Streamlabs? Whoa. Yay.
Yeah,
Bits.
I had it muted.
Is that what that sound like?
Yeah. They sound like strings
Okay.
and timpanis.
I don't know what bits are.
Man, we had this whole conversation before the stream started where it turns out Zespera doesn't know anything about Gamera. Friend and hero to children.
So they made up this turtle called Gamera or whatever, which is actually the girl from
Guardians
Guardians
of
of
the
the Galaxy.
Galaxy.
And they're telling me that she's actually a turtle who can fly by using
Excuse me,
jet
what
engines.
color is she? That's
Green.
right, turtle color.
Is it
Yeah,
thick green
but she
though?
doesn't have a shell and she doesn't pull her arms and stuff and legs in and then have rockets go out of
Just
the holes
because you
to
haven't
spin and
seen it
fly.
happen.
Yeah, I remember the director's cut.
That movie got real weird. Is that in the second one?
Man, what is in the second one?
Daddy issues?
Daddy
there
issues,
are
yes.
some daddy issues, yes. And the girl from Doctor Who crashes a spaceship.
That was pretty cool.
She's the best part. I love her.
Yeah.
She's terrific.
She's really good.
Yep, she's also a turtle. Anyway, you're at Harlan Spencer's doorstep.
Everyone's a turtle secretly.
Oh, God, what?
I'm just here to keep you out of trouble. Your show, I think.
Oh, geez, that's a wonderfully bad idea.
Oh, that's the best shifter type for being in a show.
Turtle?
So,
Yes!
as a matter of fact, the Tomb of Annihilation book, which takes place mostly in the jungles of Chult, actually has a turtle race that you can play
Oh, the
as.
Tortles.
Yeah, the Tortles. TM. A completely new and original race. Anyway, yeah. Well, maybe Jeff's next character will be part turtle.
God, I hope so.
So we're
There's
at Spencer's.
a bit of noise from behind the door. You hear some
no.
clinking.
There's
It sounds like
black
there's
lights
some
everywhere.
bits behind the door.
Some bottles, maybe, too.
And Spencer opens the door with bottle in hand. It's very clear that he's been sleeping in the same set of clothes that you dropped him off in.
That was 2 days
couple
ago,
of days
wasn't
ago,
it? Yeah.
yes.
Oh, God.
Is there a bit of a smell?
Like we've all been.
No, he's pristine.
Okay.
He's got like a magic Roomba for smells. Roomba? Why did I go with Roomba?
It's
Why didn't I go with a
Febreze.
humidifier?
He's got Febreze.
Yeah, he's-
Magical Febreze. Febreze is already magical, though,
It's,
let's be honest.
it's such a delight.
Oh, God.
Morning.
It's 3 in the afternoon. Good afternoon.
And some of us were sleeping.
Spencer, we came to check on you. We haven't heard from you since.
Where would you didn't?
Well,
where would I have called on you?
I just wanted to make sure you were okay. You were in a state when last we saw.
Yes, but
And
I'm happy to report I've come to terms with my existence. I know who I am and what I was meant to do.
please tell me it doesn't involve all of these bottles.
No, those bottles are empty. What brings you here?
Checking up, we wanted to see how you were doing, and we wanted to chat a little bit. Maddie's here too.
Yes, I've
Yeah.
looked at and acknowledged her. I acknowledge you. I see and value you.
Thank you.
Oh,
How's your nose?
it's fine. Thank you for asking.
You're
right?
welcome.
I have to say, I'm more worried about you than ever, though.
Do look a bit rough.
I will tell you, I'm very hungry.
Would you like some food?
I thought you'd never ask.
Let's get some food in you. We
Doesn't
can-
even bother to close the door behind him. He's just
I
like,
will.
come on, this way.
Hopefully he has. Actually, I don't know how keys work in this world. Like they probably
There's
don't.
just keys.
Well, no.
Keys are real.
There's the thing about
There's
the-
magical locks, yes, but there's also just regular keys and bolts.
There's deadbolts, which are a very common type of lock, and then there's a kind of lock that has the knob, whether it can turn or not. I wanted to make
This
sure we
world
didn't-
has deadbolts, but it also has live bolts, which are like deadbolts, but they scream when you slot them in. Wyvern Slayer
like
has
this.
resubscribed for 4 months. Wyvern Slayer, thank you so much.
Wyvern
your
Slayer, you
support.
subscribe to a horrible world. That's a nightmare. I just wanted to make sure we didn't lock him
You
out.
guys no, you are fine. You are down the street at Fantasy Denny's. And he is scarfing down a Grand Slam or two.
Nice.
I thought
So-
you had been a moon over my hammy guy. That's a legit Denny's dish.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course it is. Of course. One time when we were in Orlando, I said to Lobos, "Hey, I used to live here. I know all the best restaurants." And Lobos said, "Yeah, there's Denny's right across the street." And I was like, "Denny's? No, I know all the best places." And then I woke up the next morning and I walked across the street to Denny's and I left them a 5-star Yelp review because their pancakes were so good.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh
boy,
my
boy,
God.
boy.
That's a very poetic Yelp review. I remember reading that.
Oh,
You-
all of my Yelp reviews
Oh,
are
man.
poetic.
Good
Thank
quality
you.
content.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, what did you want to chat about?
A number of things. You said you figured out what you wanted to do with your life. Did you have a particular thing in mind, or do you want to?
I am. What is a fork? It's actually a spoon.
Please don't be either of those. You could be so much more.
I am what the ancients would have called a warrior poet. I'm someone who has faced tragedy, tremendous difficulty in his life, and will live not only to survive it, but to surpass it, and then to record such surpassings for the world to hear about. And are you going to eat that orange?
Oh, of course, here you
Thank
go.
you. Pull the peel out. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I was done.
Okay.
That sounds really promising.
Oh yes, 100%.
So, out of character, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. We
Yes.
would like. Lynn is not going to just immediately launch into why she.
Okay, no,
wanted
that's
this.
fine, that's fine.
But pleasant.
No, you don't need to go line by line with this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
So jumping ahead a little bit,
Yeah.
one thing we were curious about is after the train, do you know what the other guards were saying happened?
I couldn't tell you. I went to report to your Monsieur Treville, and then when I reported back to work, I was handed my severance papers.
Oh
and
my.
contents of my locker.
You haven't talked to any of the other guards since?
I wasn't. I wasn't
Liked.
boss of the year,
Oh.
but I mean, I wasn't. I wasn't boss of the year. I should have done better. I'm a warrior poet.
Would you like to do better? Do you want to keep being a guard?
I'm kind of really going all in on this warrior poet thing.
Think of the...
More bacon, please. Yes, thank you. Yes. Four.
There's a lot more opportunity for life experiences in an adventurous life.
Sounds like a setup. You're gonna just take him out back and put him.
What?
Why don't you come over here? We got an exciting experience for you.
No, goodness, no.
What is it you're selling, Laura?
Nothing in particular, but we...
Then I'm not buying.
Well, yeah.
You look like you wanted to say something.
Well, this is Herbie talking. If you hadn't talked to the other guards, I don't know if we have any other objective with him specifically.
You could try and find out who they are.
Yeah, we could do that at least.
Yeah.
Well, who are the others? We'd like to check up on them, make sure they're doing all right.
Well, I haven't seen too much in a jelly. He was taking care of the back. And then there was Mathau, and there was Thomas. And both of them were the ones that, if I recall correctly, there was a bit of a stumbling block as we were making our way back from the game room.
What was that first one's name again?
Sorry?
The name of the first one?
Nigeli.
Nigeli.
Yeah.
All right.
Like Nigel, but different.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereabout could I reach Nigeli at?
Presumably the House Orient offices. I never went to their houses or anything. We were just co-workers.
And you weren't boss of the year, like you said.
I was not invited to a roast chicken supper at the holidays, no.
Well, had your fill of the bacon and eggs and everything else? All good?
Oh, certainly. I'll get a little bit of this to go, absolutely. Are you going to... never mind.
One of the things I did want to mention, we were thinking about, what happened, and stories are a fascinating thing, and people love stories. If a story help talk about the good you've done on that train, would you be all right with that?
There's worse ways for a warrior poet's career to begin.
I agree.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll finish up the meal.
Box, please.
Yeah.
Box.
3
boxes.
Yeah.
Any of the rest of you pursuing any leads during this time?
Reese is reading.
I was, kind of waiting to hear back from
absolutely.
from them.
Yeah, without being told to do something, Eric's probably just gonna go back working on stuff. Tinkering.
Just punching rocks.
I'll probably be puzzling over the Zendrick information I was looking at the other day and
Sure.
just being like, what is a Zendrick?
What is a Zendrick?
All
right, well,
Ix would probably just be sitting with Ark and just like looking over a crossbow together and just talking about like stuff you might be able to do to it.
Roger that. All right, well, you guys drop off Spencer back at his flat, and the door, closes enough to count.
Well, let's get back and talk to everyone about what we've learned. We have names, a location that I don't want to go to.
I can't go to it. He won't be happy to see me again.
You guys return to the House
Yeah.
Shadows.
The Raven Skull
Yes,
place.
excuse me. Yeah, the Raven Skull place.
Yes.
One thing, what were you doing encouraging him to be a guard again?
He could be a very valuable asset. Without a doubt, he could be a
He
valuable
could
asset.
get himself killed, guard. You saw what happened. He got
Two walking
drunk.
in.
He was, we can walk in after this conversation.
Yeah, I kind of...
Did you force him to drink it?
He didn't drink what he thought he drank. He didn't drink anywhere near
Did you
what
think he
thought
was
drank.
drinking water?
He thought he was drinking a mild beer. Anyways, I feel a little bad. I think that this fall was perhaps too far for what he deserved. Either way, he could be a very valuable asset, and if he, and like we're all ready, and so you guys are like all hearing this if anyone wants
Yeah,
to.
this is
He could absolutely be the kind of person that, if well placed, could be of huge benefit to us.
What'd you learn?
Names, and where we can find some of them that we may not want to go.
May not want to go.
apparently
yeah.
House Orion's the place to go if we want to contact the other guards.
I mean, they work for House
Yeah.
Orion.
Yeah.
That's where they work.
Yeah, it's the only thing we got out of Harlan, unfortunately. He apparently wasn't too chummy with his coworkers.
Remind me, House Orion was one of the ones we robbed from?
They were the train house.
Train-
They're the
train-
one that
oh,
is
right.
most mad at us.
Yeah, that could be a
And
problem.
rightly so.
Yeah.
Could watch the place, catch him coming and going.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Ix would say, yeah, I was probably the last person he saw out of our team. I think maybe try to track him.
I'm usually good for that sort of thing, but I'm probably the last person he wants to see. If I'm there, we're pretty much going with the scaring him into silence approach, I think.
Well, I can hopefully do it without being seen. But I mean, granted, I'm distinct, but I wasn't the one waving a crossbow in his face.
That's true.
Probably remembers that face
You'll
a
be
little
the
bit better.
new person waving across his face.
In time.
Does seem to be your game, but I agree, you haven't done it to him yet.
So yeah, if we need to find out where this guy lives, if you want, I can try to find out.
You've seen him, you know what he looks like.
Do know what he looks like.
Yep.
That sounds like a best
Follow the
bet.
crowd.
Okay, you want to try and stake?
For the crabs.
Do we need to find much out about him, or just the fact that he still works there? We can presume that he'll try to preserve his place.
It'd be good to track him down if he still works there, especially. If he doesn't work there, maybe not as important, or maybe more important.
I'd say it's only important if he does not work there anymore.
Right.
If he still works there, he's not going to want to make himself look bad and play up stories of him getting knocked down. I'm also not going to dispute anything that he says. I'm just going to say that my experiences on the train were giant warforged attacking guards, knocking one unconscious. And
Make sure to mention the arm.
yes, absolutely, which is
Don't
a
wanna get
very
mistaken
vivid
for this.
detail.
I'm also a Warforged and don't need to call.
Right.
Well,
Wouldn't Ark just be like, cough?
Yes, actually, please tell me that's what's happening.
Throat clear.
Grumble, grumble.
Pay attention to me.
No, that's me in real life.
Cough, cough, cough.
Oh, sorry, dear. Of course not you. I'll be very detailed
Right.
on the exceptionally tall with the electric arm and
Right, right.
shiny weapons.
based on what Harlan said, sounds like they keep lockers at that place. If they go there to change into uniform every day, it should be pretty quick to figure out if he still works there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Set up
I can go.
stakeout?
Yeah, I can go check it out.
Cool. All right, you head to the. Is anyone going with?
But
Ix?
they, like, I can go if you need another set of eyes.
Remember, he saw you too.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe better for Archer Reese to go.
I
That's
can
what I
go.
was
I
thinking.
can actually disguise myself as somebody else.
That's
And
perfect.
just
He
kinda
definitely
tag
won't
along.
recognize you then.
I'm not exactly the stakeout type necessarily.
Yeah,
you could have me
me
there,
neither.
but I'm not exactly going to be. I'm going to stand
I'm
out.
more of a stake in.
Oh.
Ix is like, you know, I
This episode's
I wasn't
brought to you by
planning
Denny's.
Yes.
to bump into the guy face to face. It's just if something goes wrong, you don't want him to set off an immediate alarm. But
Well,
Well, then too, with what happened with that Julie character and Lynn earlier, I'm not
Oh,
happy
goodness.
about any of us walking around alone at this point.
she'd be like, well, no offense, pretty boy, but I think Farron would probably be better used to me here.
You can go, just don't make sure you're not spotted
Yeah.
at all costs.
Yeah. Well, if I was wearing like the on mission mask, I could just not.
And she'll kind of gesture, just like, it's not like we're going to be on ground level.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll dress casual. So.
Okay, you guys take up some posts,
Giant
maybe on a
cloak.
rooftop across
Yeah.
from the House Orion terminus station. There's not a train coming and going, but there is one parked. It looks like maybe it's been unloaded and is sort of being worked on in between departures. There's plenty of people coming in and out, although not nearly so much as like during peak hours.
I hope casual's like a kitsune mask. And
Well, that's what I'm.
No, that's
looks like
literally
his
what he
face.
was wearing.
yeah.
During the mission, yeah. Yeah. In case anyone missed the joke, like he has the mask on and then takes it off and still has the ears. just actually part of his face.
So I
You
assume
could also turn into a fox.
Or I could become more fox-like, but only for 1 minute.
Yes, that's true.
Which
What a minute.
Ix will find a place, you know, like some shadowed rooftop nearby that she can scurry up and just kind of hang out and watch from.
Why don't you give me a perception check?
Assume that Farron's with it.
So I'll do that too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
9.
Oh, actually, before I throw down dice, am I actually in a position where I could use the shifting without
Absolutely.
drawing attention? In
100%.
that case, and
Into
we're,
a giant eyeball.
Yeah.
we're back.
This isn't a fox at all.
It's the Foxy Minute with Farron Keaton.
What a minute.
And
Okay.
that means...
Wait.
Do we have a
Don't
price?
announce it yet. I do have Farron music.
Yeah.
Yeah, describe for us, why don't you, like, your transformation. What do you
So-
look like more like?
So I'm gonna say it's actually hadn't given this as much deep thoughts, but it's something that primarily affects like senses. So I'm gonna say that like it's probably that the like his hair kind of like comes in around his eyes primarily,
Cool.
and the look of his, and it may be that he also becomes like somewhat more bestial along the body as well, but it's like it's in the like the sort of
visage.
that it is like most prominent, because
Excellent.
as we are about to find out, I've just
Yes.
rolled a 12, but while shifting I have advantage on all wisdom based checks.
Excellent.
That's a 12 on the die. It's like a 14 roll, and that's a 19 on the die, so that's a 21.
Excellent. Well, it takes a little while, maybe about an hour and a half or so. But no,
I
wait,
only have
this
that-
takes
Not
1 minute.
I only have that for the first
Okay,
minute.
let's
and-
rewrite this a little bit.
Let's say maybe like the guards start to pour out, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta fight."
Yeah.
now."
Yeah, absolutely. I think the guards start to take off, and almost like Batman Detective Vision.
Yeah.
Like, and you spot the form of Nigeli as he's been identified to you. You know that shaky set of trousers in the air. He sort of nervously says
Oh.
goodbye to some of his coworkers and heads off into the northern parts of Tavix Landing.
I'll point him out to Ix.
like slumped in something. Huh?
Like, there, he's the one.
All right, well, let's move. Let's see if we can follow him.
Indeed.
We'll just try to ninja along the rooftops as best we can.
What kind of a check are you guys doing for that?
Seems like acrobatics.
I
Acrobatics.
think acrobatics is perfect. I think that's exactly the kind of rooftop check.
Yeah.
Roof to roof, just jumping and doing flips.
Yeah.
That is only a 13.
23.
I think that's plenty.
Okay.
Ix looks way cooler doing it.
Yeah.
But nobody can see it either way.
She is like perfectly timing her jumps so that like she'll jump and it'll look like maybe she's not actually going to make it, but actually she timed it perfectly. So you're having to like double jump when you
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily have needed to.
That's how I actually platform. I always jump and then like wait and like course correct in midair.
I think that after maybe about a half an hour of tailing this guy, you see him as he's sort of like very quietly like sort of looking over his shoulder, and then pulls out a big ring of keys, lets himself into his flat. It's not terribly unlike the brownstone that Spencer has, although maybe not quite as nice a neighborhood, not quite as big.
Ix will be like, well, let's just circle it and see if we can see any entrances, anything we might need to know if we need to come back here. But otherwise, I think that's all we need. So she'll head in just sort of a circle around.
Sure,
the-
I think you can get the
buildings.
lay of the land, no
Yeah.
problem. You've got no time constraints or anything like that. Then you reconvene with the rest of the group.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
our quarterback.
Well, it's a vertical city,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I assume you just like drop.
Yeah.
And double jump at the last second.
Yeah.
Excellent. And I'm hoping you share what you've learned with the rest
Oh
of the
yes,
party.
yeah. We'll say
we'll
we
come back.
found the man and we know where he is.
Good deal.
And it looks like he still works for him then.
Indeed.
My thought is he wouldn't want to go bragging about getting tied up or anything, but if you guys want
What you guys do this weekend?
yeah.
Ix will be like, well, it depends on the,
Under
on
the
situation.
circumstances, I can
Oh.
agree with that. It's not a story he'd want told.
Yeah, anything making those regards sound good on this train is going to be better too.
Well,
They fought bravely and took down the creature. The terrifying war forged.
Well, drove him off anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't. Was he apprehended and then disappeared in custody, or do we not know that for sure?
The Warforged was apprehended, but maybe we should say there were two. Another thing I've been thinking of. An object is off the train, and the cars did separate right before the guards busted in. Maybe somebody else has escaped the train.
So to clarify, from what you know, the body of the Warforged is in the Citadel's possession.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, you guys knocked him out.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I
I'd
guess
be
he's
like, well,
maybe-
I'd be hesitant to
And I-
complicate the story, but this is
Yeah.
your arena, not mine. You let me know if you need any more Warforges shot. I'll be all over that.
Noted. Does Ark look nervous for a moment?
Not
You're
Barry,
good. You're
no.
cool. You're
I'm
cool.
not sure Ark has emotions beyond rocks.
Well,
Simulating fear.
I takes another rock, starts etching it.
well, whether it's one other Warforged or two, I think we've got everything we need to talk to the editor, right?
Yeah, I should probably come up with actually fully officially the story before I go in, out of character as well as in character.
Sure.
Which is,
I mean, so
like,
one-
we should talk this over.
Yeah,
as a
well,
group.
one thing to clarify, is that a lot of this is going to be like folks going off and doing a thing that maybe not necessarily everyone in character can contribute to.
Yeah.
That's not to say the six of you can't, or even me, can't like bounce ideas around and be like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe you should do this or
Yes.
that kind of thing.
Right.
Definitely no quarterback, but like this is the kind of thing
Oh, yeah.
that like this is the game, is we should be collaborating on these kinds of
Yeah.
ideas and
Okay.
stuff. So unless you're like, don't worry guys, I've got it. This is, you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
can figure it
Yeah.
out as
Lynn
you're going.
absolutely wants to get input from everyone and
Sure.
discuss a few ideas.
I feel like
Well, what I'm saying is, even if you say, okay, Lynn is going to go there,
Yeah.
and then when we're talking to the editor, pause, guys, let's figure out what the story is here.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's very different from the way Dark Sun was, and
Yes.
I like this way more because it's like
We
we
get-
would have
we get
talked
to the
about
thing
this.
faster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
should Lynn just go to the editor? Do we want to do that?
Not just the methodology of the score, but like the overall feel of the game. Like, we don't need to spend 30 minutes talking to Harlan over pancakes. We can just get to the reason that you're talking to.
Okay.
And then be like, okay, well, we're done with this guy. Let's move on. That kind of thing.
all right.
but I'm glad we learned that he's a warrior.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
No, that's
That's
not to say
perfect.
that you're not going to have conversations
Yeah,
with
yeah.
people.
Yes.
But we don't need to be like, oh, let's find a table.
Yeah.
Who's going to pay? That kind of thing.
It's Reese.
It is not hard.
I actually stole his wallet, so it is.
I'll go with you to make
Do you
sure
accept
nothing happens, but
cards?
my name should be kept out of it. Won't be much help to you. Trust
Yeah,
me.
yeah, absolutely. So
That was
yeah, I'm
really
gonna.
Why do I laugh?
Well, I don't know what just
What
happened.
happened?
He
Nothing.
talked about the check, and he said that'd be Reese, and I said it won't be Reese, and I said, do you accept cards?
For some reason, like, I was like, that's so dumb, and I can't stop laughing.
Very funny joke among me.
Oh,
What a good goof.
jeez.
But
Okay.
Sorry, please proceed with the game.
The local offices of the Kornberg Chronicle are nestled in the Central Plateau, which is where a lot of the biggest business sort of makes its home. The Citadel is here, the Kundarak Bank is here, and so is the Kornberg Chronicle office. And this particular day, the office is booming, not simply because it's the local office in the biggest city for the biggest newspaper in all the land, but because there's apparently a big line of people that are all in line to tell editor Fairbrook just what it was that they saw on the train.
oh,
Oh boy.
I do still have my ticket stub.
Oh,
Is
100%.
there a person who's like managing?
Oh,
the
of course. You
crowd?
better believe there is a hapless intern that has just accepted that this is their life and are all too eager to simply tell you to get in line and sit down.
It's a little.
Wait, sit down, get in line. I'm losing my mind. There are literally 100 of you. The train doesn't even seat that many.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I'm assuming that none of the guards that we saw earlier are there.
No,
Do
absolutely.
we
not.
recognize anyone from the train there?
Give me a investigation check.
Did we all go?
Maddie.
Yeah, I thought it was Maddie and Lynn.
Yeah.
You're welcome
Okay.
to retcon it.
Yeah.
I would have.
No, that's fine.
Just checking.
Well,
Icks in public.
7 if it's investigation.
12?
You do not recognize anyone there, but there are a lot of people
A
here.
lot of people, yeah.
Relevant. What is Lynette wearing? Is she dressed?
She's dressed like she was on the train.
Like she was on the
it's
train,
it's the
yes.
same hair and
Got
the
it.
same like makeup and like stance and
Sure.
And you look like someone who conceivably would have a bodyguard with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Sure.
I'm very well to do.
You know.
Gotcha.
And Maddie's kind of in bodyguard stance where she's clearly not there as one of the people in line. She's there because the person she's guarding is there.
Right.
Yeah.
Until later in the game when they've disappeared and you come back and will still sell cleric spells, but are like, I don't know what happened. I got separated. Hey everyone, do you like Dark Souls?
I played Dark Souls, the video game.
Great.
Please don't kick me off into a dark pit somewhere.
I've never heard of it.
No, not that one. The other guy, the guy with the bad hair.
Yeah.
that dude.
Yeah.
Like, when
Who
I
did
used
the
to
same thing?
Stupid
When I used
Petrus.
to
He kicks
stream.
No, he
No.
kicked the girl.
No, that's what.
Oh, he
Patches
did
that
kick the
to her.
girl. That's right.
When
I'm
I used
sorry.
to stream,
I've never
people
played Dark
literally
Souls.
all the time be like, "Oh my god, he looks like Patches."
Oh, you.
I mean, I don't remember what Patches looks like, but apparently like me.
Does look a little bit like
think
you as the
I think it's just because he's bald.
Yeah.
And that's
I
it.
get that a
Also,
lot.
you have a spider body. Man, you still haven't played Bloodborne, have
I've
you?
not played Bloodborne.
Oh, you really should
I have
though.
a PS4 for that.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
And free time that doesn't involve being punched in the face by huge men.
Why would you do anything else?
what if we set up MMA Bloodborne, where you fight for 2 minutes, and then you play Bloodborne PvP for 30 seconds?
Good. Can me and Lobos play tag team? He's got to fight. I'm doing the Bloodborne.
I'm down.
Well,
I love this
he would
idea.
win either way.
Let's do it.
Are you trying to say anything to try and bump yourself up further up the line with
Yeah,
this person?
what are
They're
ideas for-
literally like looking at you wild-eyed.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was some sort of scheme that we could retroactively put into place.
Yes, you can absolutely
Yeah.
do that.
Clarify, did Lynn show the ticket stub?
No.
Oh.
No,
Oh.
Lynn hasn't done anything.
Oh.
Okay, no,
That's a good
when
starting point, probably.
he's,
Yeah.
I assumed that I had shown him, and that's when he was like, get in line, oh my god, what are you doing?
No.
So I'll say I do have a ticket stub to prove that I was on this train.
So does half the people in the line.
Thoughts on ways of getting to the front?
Just punching people.
Do you have a do we know of like the occupation for the false identity or anything like that? Is there any way
It
to-
wouldn't, like, no one on the train would know it.
Yeah.
Like, but I can talk about the staff of the, like, and I don't know if they would know who the staff of the train was, but Lynn had been making friends with
I
the
mean-
bartender and the servers and things like that.
You could probably tell them you were arrested.
Or you could.
I thought we were trying
So-
to keep
I'm
ourselves
trying to
out.
think
So
of-
what you should be doing is you should be using like a diplomacy check or a
Yeah,
persuasion
yeah.
check or something like that.
And so that's,
Using a combination of the ticket stub and your evidence of having been there and stuff like that, I think that's enough to give you advantage on it.
okay.
Yeah.
So I will do a diplomacy check,
Arrested is a
or
strong word.
there's no diplomacy anymore. It's
No, I meant
persuasion.
persuasion.
Okay.
Persuasion.
Well, 24.
24.
I'm very persuasive.
I think that there is like this moment in the intern's existence where like everything else just sort of quiets down. And there's a little spotlight that just descends on Lynette.
I bribed a guy to do that.
And this
Ark is up in the rafters.
and this young intern, her eyes start to like well up and she's like, I'll go speak to the editor. And she like flits away, desperate to like actually get something done in her day, in her job, in her life.
Wow, fuck EBERRON.
I told you, capitalism's bad.
It is so bad.
Playing this game with me.
And after a couple of minutes, of which it almost sounds like there's a fight going on the other side. There's a lot of shouting. There's a little bit of crashing, and the intern comes out with like a little bandage over one eye that wasn't there before.
no.
Like those little X's.
Yes, absolutely. Editor Fairbrooke will see you now.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
course, Maddie follows along in bodyguard mode.
Of course, you come into a room that is filled with desks, that is filled with typewriters, that is filled with pieces of paper and lamps, and there is a thick smell of cigar smoke as the editor, a half-elf, stands facing out the window. You're up like on the 7th or 8th floor, and she's staring out at the rest of Sharn as she taps her foot. Come on, come on, come on! I don't have all day. I don't have all day.
Well, hello, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Of course it is. Pleasantries, unnecessary. News now.
Well, I have
News has new in the name. Neus. News. Misspelled. Threw you off. Diversion.
Is this like a
Not new
female
anymore.
J.
Now
Jonah
old.
Jameson character? Like, okay,
I
perfect.
respect his work.
Gotta get pictures of Spider-Man. I have pictures of Spider-Man, and I have stories about this train.
You and everyone else has a story about this train. Why is yours any different?
I have my ticket stub.
Let me see that.
No.
You have my ticket stub.
It's true. I do.
Does it taste authentic?
Don't be smart with me.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Yes, you've been on a train. I understand that. What is it you have to offer about the calamitous heist that struck the Orient Lightning Rail?
I saw the person who did it. Giant warforged with an electric arm. Zapped everyone in the room.
Is that into her face?
No, absolutely not.
Like
That'd be
that's
rude.
the angled thing, yeah.
It's more of
Oh.
Yeah.
although curiously, it's not lit.
It's one, oh god, it's one of those.
Yeah.
She's vaping.
It is vaping.
It's a car. Her car's
EBERRON
back.
is terrible.
That's the worst.
Thought Dark Sun was the apocalypse.
Oh goodness, no. Warforged, big electric arm, zapped everyone in the room.
Yeah.
Prove it.
That's going to be a harder thing to prove. Let me tell you everything that I saw there.
Spectacular.
So, oh.
Do you want to just say,
Yeah.
tell everyone
Yeah.
everything you see there?
I tell the story of starting out in the gambling car, seeing the hooded figure walk past. Spencer and I walk towards the back as well. Spencer being the captain of the guard, a friend of mine. We were
Painting him in the best light.
Absolutely. And we walk towards the back, and as we do, we discover a knocked unconscious guard in one of the hallways. Person who Spencer told me his name was New Jelly. What was the actual name?
Jelly is the guy who was cornered with a crossbow.
What was the
Yeah.
person who was knocked out?
That was
There were two of those.
Mathau.
Weren't there two of those?
There were two.
There were two. The first one we found was Mathau.
Mathau.
And so I'm going to name drop the guards as we go too,
Yes.
and say he must have tried to stop the Warforged, and then was struck and knocked unconscious. At this, I was curious what had happened, so I kept going down. Spencer was trying to talk me out of it, and then the Warforged attacked us as we went back. And I'm going to talk our way back through
Going through each of the beats.
each of the beats.
Painting it in such a way that Harlan Spencer is the hero of the day.
Absolutely.
Right.
The Warforged attacked.
Something of a warrior
shocked
poet,
perhaps. Attacked several of us, and then the Warforged charged at me, and Spencer stood between us. And so, those heroic beats and things like that. Talk through the train cars got decoupled, and we were scrambling to get away. And I do include that as we got to the middle cart, there was a second tall Warforged who got away. Do we want to do that? Because I like. So here's the thing: an item is missing.
All right.
An item is missing, and we need to be able to give somebody for them to search. That's not us.
If I might
Go ahead.
insert, there were flying dragonfly creatures.
Okay.
Yeah, easily could
Oh.
have been. In fact, they found a broken one when they searched the train under some.
And if I may
full
also
of luggage.
insert, there was actually a
Yeah, you
second
don't
Warforged there.
we really shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys can lose all your heat, and I'll just keep
I'm
it.
fine with
Can we just transfer all our heat to him?
There's this character named Ark.
So this time around, Bill's characters will each go to jail,
So I
where they will form a second party.
I
Next
swear,
time we lose them all in time and space, we'll do an Arkham Horror.
I am rolling
You got
Zorak
Jeff.
next.
Oh.
Jeff, yes.
I have a thought as far as if we want to produce some evidence. Could Ark at least create a not necessarily operational, but like a replica of the dragonfly thing?
I love this. I love this.
So Ix's thinking is if we can go back to basically where the trains were decoupled and like be like, okay, well, like Lynn saw this Warforged, like Spencer and this Warforged go at it, and he threw something out the window, and she'll pace like a few, like, you know, X yards out and leave like a crashed dragonfly and an empty red satchel.
Oh, perfect.
So that, like,
Yeah.
basically be like, well, if you guys go out that way, probably, like, it's way past the train, so the guards may not have found it, but there's probably evidence out there. Basically try to send a detective or something out to...
Sure.
That's perfect. I love
I
that.
could probably
Well-
replicate it.
Well, I think we're about to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll take time.
Sure.
Are you rolling for that? Is that a
I'm
thing?
100% going to have to roll for that.
Of course.
Oh, goodness.
So what do
This
we...
is the thing to burn stress on if
I think
ever.
Arcana is probably going to be our
Yeah.
skill of
Arcana,
choice
yeah.
on this.
Can it be a tag team flashback?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Maddie actually knows her way around machines to a small degree.
Sure.
Enough to help, maybe.
Yeah.
And you were there when I broke that, or no, when
Yeah,
you broke
she
that
actually
dragonfly.
handled
that
it.
song.
See
Yeah.
the-
And she actually
So-
picked up and handled an actual.
So if you wanted to split it, I think it's maybe one stress for each of you, just to attempt it.
Alright.
And how do we do the help that he's getting from this? Is it just
Advantage on the check? Or?
Yeah, I think you're assisting him and he gets advantage.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Because
Well,
I'm
Bill
using
is a
tools, I think I get a bonus to it, but I forget what the bonus
It's,
was.
unless it's
Or is it
special
just-
to Artificer.
Just allow. Okay, that's next level. I think that's next level.
Okay.
I don't think I have that.
Artificers get lots of stuff once you're finally not first level.
Yeah, exactly.
If that
I know the
ever happens.
feeling.
true.
It won't.
It's very true. Not bad. 22.
22. I think that with the capable Medevra at your side, you're able to piece this thing together. So both of you marked off one stress for the flashback, right?
Yeah, it had a screw right
Okay.
there. I remember.
And if I may, Ix would volunteer to take it out of the city and plant it.
Sure.
I'd like to use survival to cover my tracks.
I think that makes absolutely good sense.
Maybe 15.
15, I think you're more than capable of dropping this thing off in the area of town that you're planning on or out of town rather,
yeah.
that you're planning on dropping it off.
Yeah, and just between survival and just her skills as a sniper, she'll be like, okay, they threw it out this direction, she'll march that way.
Yeah,
plant it.
triangulation.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright.
So you have
So-
that in your arsenal as well.
Dropping the thing about seeing the guards attacking the Warforged at the end. It threw something out as the cars were being decoupled. We barely got out with our lives. A small crew that were caught on the other side of this battle, pushed back through the train.
Heard a lot of stories today. Here's a good one. Wait, did you bring the dragonfly thing with you? No, you didn't.
No,
I'm
we're
sorry.
not.
No,
No,
I'm sorry. I
We dropped
completely
it,
blanked.
however,
Yeah,
could
so
Just leave it up.
Basically-
No, I think she has.
Yeah.
You got this thing with you?
Yeah.
No, it was thrown out of the train. We do know where. Where the cars were decoupled. So it's probably still out there.
Yeah, and Ix would give her a cardinal direction.
Was there like a landmark? Was there a landmark nearby that we could reference specifically?
Sure.
There was a high half work pretty close by.
This is that really
Just look for the hobo.
Look for the hobo or
Something that wasn't on the train itself might be more useful.
no, like since we're assuming it flew and then crashed, she can take it X amount of distance. So we'll just be like at like where the planes turn to forest or whatever. she'll
mile
crash it
marker
there.
220.
Yeah,
around
right.
there. Something of that nature.
That's really specific.
is-
Laura! The intern rushes in. This is Laura. She's my intern. Don't make eye contact.
Oh.
No, not. I meant not with her.
Oh, okay. So,
Not quite people, you understand. Show her where this thing is.
okay.
Either bring it in or get me some photos of it.
I can go with her,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
All right, Maddie will agree to escort her to the location.
In the meanwhile, it's Warforged. Where is it now? They brought it in?
The guards knocked it out right as we were.
But where is it now?
Do we know if that's public knowledge?
He said that.
Well,
where it
okay,
was.
so we
Did
know.
you say
we
we
know.
knew
We
it?
We
know
know where it is.
You know by virtue of the fact that you were in the Citadel offices.
Yeah, it's there.
We shouldn't know. Like
The public
so
would
my,
not
my,
know.
my question
Wait, what
is
is the Citadel? Help me out here.
So the Citadel is the
Mass Effect video.
the Citadel is the official government police headquarters.
I'm Shepard, and I approve of this message.
They are different from like the Dragon Mark bodyguards or the individual dynastic like mercenaries or anything like that. They're the folks that Colette works for,
Okay.
that Inspector Graves works for, that
Okay.
Captain Julie works for.
Okay.
So we're assuming Colette took it from the police or whatever.
So I
from the
mean, we
city.
shouldn't know.
when we were arrested,
Uh-huh.
we did not get taken to the Citadel, did we?
You got taken to a different office,
Oh, okay.
lower in Tavik's Landing,
Yeah.
sort of a a satellite office or something like that.
The best story
I
would
would
probably be
like to
the
not
main
know.
the
Yeah.
main Citadel is here in the Central Plateau.
the best story would probably be to say that the city guard might have taken it in.
Yeah, well,
There's
Yeah, I
no
don't know
reason
what
you
they
would
would
know
know.
that,
Yeah.
frankly.
Well, you were there when the you were there when all the
guards swooped in.
you could just
Yeah.
say like the guards.
House
Took
Conundrum
it,
was
who
on
knows?
duty for it, right?
Yeah.
Weren't they the ones who actually did
Did the official pickup
Yeah.
initially?
Yes, but they brought you to the Citadel office.
Yeah.
Right, but as far as what someone who wasn't brought in would know, all they would have known is that House Conundrum showed up, swooped everything
Yes,
up.
they swooped in and picked up everything that wasn't bolted down.
Okay, then that's what I'll say. Is,
Okay.
they would be the ones to know where this thing ended
Mm.
up.
Kondrak, pretty tight-lipped. Tell you what, this dragonfly thing, it's good. Doesn't quite seal the deal is the thing. This Warforged sounds pretty special. Is there anything else, any kind of evidence you've got of its existence?
You were zapped, right?
Hmm?
You were zapped, right?
Multiples of us were zapped, but you could say your bodyguard
I was not.
zapped.
My bodyguard was zapped and may still have burns. These are not normal burns.
Go on.
Well, I mean,
Sure.
I'm out going.
No, well, you haven't left. Like,
He did.
Oh,
leave.
she
Oh,
did
wait,
that.
wait,
She did
so
that.
You
They
heard me
went to
speak
get the
to you,
dragonfly.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, I
so
can speak to you, but yeah, Maddie's not on scene.
I
at the
didn't
moment.
realize that my bodyguard immediately bolted out of the
Oh,
room.
no, that's
with
why
a
she
gun.
said
volunteered to bolt.
Yeah, and
Okay.
she even asked you specifically if that's all right because it was a little unusual.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had assumed that was when this conversation is over.
Oh.
Oh no!
Uh,
no,
because there was not-
we can retcon it that way. Yeah.
Because there wasn't like a reason for them to be like, oh, we have to go 18 miles out of the city right now, and leaving now is going to be like, oh.
I mean, the
Sure.
intern
Yeah.
was summoned and everything, but
Yeah.
All right.
They probably
Uh,
would want to find it right away, but
Yeah. Showing the burn, the electrical burns on the arm.
yeah, they look a little healed probably by this point. But
Those days
Yeah,
ago.
someone's slapped some balm on there.
Yeah, some aloe slathered on there.
But it does make a
Oil
different
from our-
pattern than a normal burn. You'll see that it looks like a lightning bolt.
Are you giving me a check of any kind with that information?
Oh, jeez. I mean, that is what they look like, and that is what she's seeing on the arm. That she's like, look,
Is it though?
the lightning thing even looks like lightning.
It doesn't necessarily look like lightning, is the thing.
It just looks like getting burned by something, probably.
They do follow starration lines. They can. Oh, medicine
No,
check.
wait, I don't know.
Persuasions?
Persuasion.
Would it be persuasion then?
Yeah, I mean, you're trying
No,
to.
it sounds like. Tell me the thing that you're talking about.
Like, legitimately, people who get struck by lightning have burns on them where it's not just like they're like a boiled lobster. They get lines on them
Yes,
that
that's
are
fair.
like a lightning bolt, and that's what the scars look like. And so the scars of being electrocuted by an arc look like lightning.
That's if we were scarred though. Like
No, I like this.
And it's so.
Oh
it's-
shit!
what?
Don't Google that.
Oh shit!
Oh no! Yeah. Oh goodness.
so it looks distinctive, is what I think I'm
It
hearing.
does. It does.
All right.
It does. No, that's fine.
Okay.
Shocking
Sorry,
revelation.
I did not intend you to Google that. I was hoping you would trust me.
No, I'll Google anything.
So also, I was right. I'm hoping.
No, you're 100% correct. I learned something new today. If you get struck by lightning, it leaves a distinct mark that looks like lightning.
Yeah, and that
Badass.
looks like lightning.
Wow.
And Maddie just stoically stands over this, scar revealed on her arm.
You look like a tough cookie.
She nods. I think so.
Unfortunately, that's not working in your favor. See, I put out the call for a big story. You tell your bodyguard, listen, punches come to blows. I'm going to zap you with a little bit of electricity real quick. Sell the story real good. That could have come from anywhere.
I don't let people just zap me with things. And
Maybe your boss, though.
Maddie's making an intimidate check to try to make this point.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
You hit me with something, you're gonna get hit back, boss or not. That is a 17.
You know what? You're right. You're just tough enough a cookie.
Perfect toughness.
You passed over the bell curve into perfect toughness. Tough enough to bear it, but also too tough that anyone would think that was a good idea. I like your moxie.
Maddie gives a polite nod and rolls her sleeve back up.
All right, so
Yeah, I thought those pictures for Spider-Man.
not Spider-Man, robot dragonflies.
Robot Dragon.
Give me some shots of this thing, maybe even the thing itself. We'll see what we can do to cook up a front page story.
And then, yeah, now you and the intern, I guess, go. And then,
She snaps back to the window and crosses her arms, having very clearly dismissed you.
okay.
And Maddie turns into Ayrton. Come on, let's go.
Oh, hang on. Let me grab one of the cameras. And she literally like swan dives back into the press pit, like shoveling her way towards the back of the room, past like these like hordes of reporters and typists and editors and photographers. And she finally gets her hands on one of the ones and she has to beat off one of the other interns. There's like.
Good night, everybody.
She gets back and she inexplicably has another bandage and like a little bit of blood coming out of one ear.
How much does she get for this job? $5.75
She doesn't
an hour?
get paid.
Oh, no, she's an
an intern.
Not paid,
It's a
yeah.
great work experience opportunity.
Didn't realize news work was so hazardous.
Shut up. Let's go.
What are
Right.
the cameras of EBERRON like?
So they're like Harry Potter cameras, and they look like no, they are. They look like big boxy old-timey cameras, but what they basically are is they're programmable illusions where they can basically record a scene like Vine. Oh man, we remembered Vine. Another
That was so good.
yeah, and it just like records a little space of time so that when you look at the photograph, it's actually like a little animated scene. Probably one that's very funny in only
Yes.
6 seconds.
Right.
Dragonfly, lol. 5 million hits.
I below.
Hi, Polo.
Yeah.
What's
Takes
Polo's
about a year to
favorite
get
line?
used to that randomly happening.
Here, Paul.
It's like a good 40 episodes of early D&D of me jumping every time Polo would make his presence known.
So,
So shall the three of us go, or do you want to go just you and intern? Because more eyes looking for a thing dumped out of a train might be better.
Who's three of us?
I don't know how much.
Oh,
sense,
me, Herbie, and
I
intern.
don't know how much sense it would make for
Yeah,
a highbrow
okay.
person to go mucking around.
I thought you were.
It
It sounds like the sort of thing you'd ask your bodyguard
I
to
thought
do.
you meant the
Yeah.
three of us, and then suddenly inviting a Warforged when you were talking about how bad Warforged are. It's like,
What if Art was there too?
hey.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Maddie and
And
intern.
of course, it wasn't actually thrown out of the train. Maddie pretty much, presumably knows exactly
Yeah,
where
she
she's
doesn't have to
going.
find it.
yeah, absolutely.
It just
Look,
To recreate,
for it,
to
though.
recreate the scene perfectly, Ix hopped on a train, waited for the right moment, and then threw it out.
Fell asleep, fell out,
Yeah.
and then the dragonfly fell out of her bag. Hours later, she woke up and then stumbled home.
Perfect. The perfect crime.
Mission complete.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, give me a survival check. You'll have advantage on it, and it's not going to be very difficult.
Okay. She heads out there.
Double ones.
That's not bad. Survival 13.
13. So you guys are all. Is it just you and Laura?
Just Maddie and the
Just
intern.
Maddie and the intern.
Yep.
Laura is, she's quieted down now that you've left the chaos of the Cordberg Chronicles offices. But she's a little skittish, and she's like, I just, this is great. We're really gonna get this taken care of. But you should know that this isn't necessarily like a guarantee that the story is gonna go through. This is just, just to have something available.
Sure, but I mean, wouldn't it be I'm a little surprised? Wouldn't it be enough? I mean, evidence is what your editor wanted, right?
Well, sure, but I mean, I'm not saying this, but you could have just like built something and thrown it out here in the middle of the field. I mean, he's the editor for the local division of
Big
one of
house
those very.
Dick's going there.
You know, he's gonna double check his sources and conduct other interviews before he writes anything, and certainly before he gets anything put to paper.
Well, that makes sense. I would too in his position.
Sure. I'm just saying, you know, don't expect that this photo is necessarily going to be, you know, on the front cover.
Well,
That said, I'm glad to take it. You know, it's perfectly nice. It's a lovely day to get outside of the city.
Well, whatever he checks, he'll come up with the same information.
Oh, what did you get? 13?
For the survival, yeah.
Yeah, I think it takes, you know, a little longer than you would like, but maybe that.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah,
probably.
that kind of helps sell the illusion, I think.
Yeah.
And sure enough, she's like, "Oh, this is." Give me a perception check, though.
Okay. Perception check.
Ix has inscribed your name in
That's a
this.
7, but I think I want to succeed on that, so I think I will succeed at that.
Sure.
And it would take 2 stress to do so. Alright.
So we were talking about Sharn's geography a little while ago. It's sort of up in this cliffside area. And you're out in sort of this prairie land, but there's still lots of large rock outcroppings and stuff. And some of them are very, very tall. Some of them are like 300, 400 feet tall. You spot on top of one of them a couple of figures. It's difficult to imagine how they would have gotten up there without flying. Maybe they scaled it. You don't see any climbing stuff. They're too far away for you to really like make out that much of a detail. There's definitely a couple of folks up there. And they might even be looking in your direction.
Maddie nudges the intern. Hey, get some pictures of that. She points up towards where the 2 people are.
Whoa, what are they doing up there? That's strange.
That's what I was wondering. I don't suppose that thing can see.
Oh, they're gone.
Did you get a picture?
I did, yeah.
I don't suppose that thing can see better than we can.
Well, I mean, not here. We could try and zoom in on it once we get back.
Enhance.
Oh,
Please God be a giant warforged.
Magical dark room.
Yeah, that's what I had in mind.
Sure.
I think. Don't really know much about that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Just weird to see someone else all the way out here. How'd they get up there anyway?
Well, maybe they're half bird.
Maybe. You got everything
Probably
you need?
not, now that I say it out loud. Are we just going to leave this thing here? The boss wanted it, right?
You're free to take it with you. It ain't mine.
Well, do you mind? I'm carrying this camera.
All right. We ought to get out of here, though. I don't like people.
Lynn, what are you doing during all this time?
Probably went back to the hideout, I
Okay.
guess. Like, roundabout to get there, not taking the most direct route in case somebody's following.
Sure,
But,
that's
like,
fair.
Yeah. And then when back, suggested it may be a good idea if more people tell a similar story, if Reese wants to take a crack at it.
Tell the same story?
Your views of it.
A corroborating story?
Yes. You saw a giant warforged with an electric arm throwing a dragonfly and attacking the guards. And then there's this one guard who, I don't know, whatever you want to say.
I can agree to that.
Yeah.
Though it may be suspicious if I come in immediately and say the exact
No,
same
but
things.
there's 100 people in line
This one
down at
already
that office. There's going to be a lot of people telling a lot of stories. I want a lot of stories to sound like mine.
Is
punched
Ix
a
backed by
passenger in
this
the
point?
face.
I'm sorry.
Is Ix backed by this point?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. She'd
I
be like,
have-
well, you might bump into one of the editors somewhere and just mention that you were on the train. They'll start digging instead of having to follow right in and do the same routine she did.
A little more organically.
I have a suggestion that's a little more roundabout, mayhaps. People's memories are kind of a fickle thing. Might it
Maybe
be
I
used?
couldn't cuss an editor.
Might it be
Are we gonna
useful?
incept them?
Well, no, yeah, go to a bar and start telling stories.
Well,
So people hear it.
I was about to say maybe it would be a good idea for someone to go and mingle with the other people there to tell their stories and drop bits of our concoction.
That's fantastic.
That way-
I love it.
Very good.
That
That's
way-
so good.
That way, they're likely to include details that may not have even happened, but that they remember now that we floated the idea to
That's
them.
very good.
That's
Excellent
fantastic. I
idea.
love
Tell
it.
you.
That's so good.
Where might we find
Arco
these
comes in.
people?
Yeah.
Here's what happened. Everybody, here's what you're gonna say.
Are you saying the people waiting in line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
That way, there
Yeah.
will be.
So I guess.
Witness tampering. Good old witness tampering.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Even like deliberately like putting yourself back in line.
you'd approach it kind of like I recently saw a clip from Aladdin where like the genie's like saying
Yes.
things, popping in and out of the crowd with a different disguise.
Yes, exactly.
Kind of doing that idea. Like,
Okay, excellent,
oh
excellent.
man, like.
You
Did you
never
see
had-
that Warforged? It was crazy, and then there was all sorts of
Did
stuff
you
going
know
on.
that when you get zapped, you get this weird lightning pattern
Here,
in your skin?
let me
Did anyone
Google
see
it.
that dragon?
By the way, do not Google that. Never Google that.
And there was that dragonfly by the window. Everybody
Oh,
saw
everyone
that.
really
is
is
ours.
It's really bad.
Everyone has Bing.
Crawler.
Yikes.
Yeah. Do you want me to do a roll for that or
That's a
something?
good
or-
question. I think
Oh, your face.
Manipulate information roll.
Deception.
Deception.
Sounds right.
deception sounds very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
I'll give you advantage for your disguising. I assume you're altering yourself left
Robin
and right.
Williams.
That's
Style.
right, exactly. Like just like
Mustache?
the genie.
No
Mustache,
mustache.
beard.
Blonde
Goatee,
mustache.
sideburns.
Mustache on ear.
That's the only way
mustache
to
on
disguise
other ear.
myself is
Yeah.
hair.
No eyebrows, just mustache.
Ouch.
Jesus.
I'll take some stress to make that make sure
Sure.
that passes.
So I think that maybe you're having a little bit of an issue trying to get people to like stop. Like most people just want to talk about themselves, and most
Sure.
people aren't like giving you any kind of an opportunity to speak. So what is it that your stress out sort of gives you? What is it that you do in order to get yourself over the edge to get people to really pay attention? And of course, everyone else can offer,
Sure.
offer
Any suggestions?
suggestions.
Well, it sounds. I mean, maybe inserting yourself into the more combative areas of the crowd. Like if you're trying to talk to people on the outskirts who are impatient and waiting around, they don't want to hear anything from you. We've established that there's quite a tussle,
Yeah.
kind of in the heart,
It-
and you can just like, all right, fuck it,
There's always
going in,
there's
or
always-
then you come out with an extra.
There's always going to be people impatient to tell their story. You aren't going to wait till they're in front of the editor or even the intern. They're going to be telling other people in line what they think happened. Maybe.
But it could also be that at first when you're trying to talk to people and it's not working, like you're just trying to edge in a little bit and like telling people, talking one-on-one, and all of a sudden you realize that's not working, so you wait till conversation's picking up between multiple people.
Yeah.
Then you kind of insert yourself and be like,
Maybe stress myself out by actually listening to all these stories.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
awful.
anyways, this is a
There
That's
you
even
go.
worse.
No, that's good. That's
Listening to
good.
others, that's three
people
stress.
talking.
No, that's excellent. I think you're able to seed, a fair bit of this information that you want. It's just there's a lot of just like social exposure, and it sucks because you have to talk to other human beings.
And then I leave immediately.
And well, human and demi-humans.
Yeah,
let's be
of course.
clear. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Excellent. I think maybe around the time that you feel like you've done your work, you're about to head out, and Maddie and Laura will return. She'll be like, "Well, thank you. If things go well, I guess you'll see it in the papers."
Yeah, I figure I will. But got one quick small favor to ask
Oh
you here.
yeah.
That those figures on the was it a hill or a mountain? Sorry.
It was like a
stone
enormous,
pillar,
like,
right?
yeah.
Oh.
Is it like one of the train tracks, or
Yeah.
what it- like,
Can we get a
what
better
was it?
look at them like you were saying?
It's like a very tall mesa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we get a better look at them like you were saying? I don't like
not
people-
right now. I need to get back to work. But if you want to come around, like maybe tomorrow night. Like,
Oh,
maybe
we
like
do.
9 or 10 or something like that. Maybe we can put something together.
I appreciate it. Thank
Cool.
you.
Cool. All right, bye.
Take care.
Cool.
Who are the Mesa Men?
Yeah, front page.
They are Las Mesas.
Well, that would take some of the heat off, right? The train story is done and gone.
And notably, Maddie does not acknowledge Reese in any way as
Oh,
the
yeah,
going
exactly.
going.
No,
Just
you
kinda
don't
like-
recognize him. He has a mustache.
Probably.
Cool. What else? Are you guys just reconvening once everything's good and done?
Yeah, Maddie will point out what the intern said about this possibly not being, even this not being enough necessarily, because he's going to, check other sources and that sort of thing.
Ix will be just like smoking out the window, and she's like, "Well, Reese is out right now, seeding some things into the crowd. I don't know if that'll help."
Well,
I return. Hello,
yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Yeah,
that.
I think I'll switch your back.
How'd it go, pretty boy?
Well, that should help.
I think it went pretty well. It was.
Maddie takes off her mask and it was Reese the whole time.
Oh my god, that would be the biggest amazing thing ever.
Yeah, I wasn't actually playing, guys. See ya.
It's very good.
I saw them in the same room together at the same time. How did that happen?
He's really good at disguise.
Again, world of magic.
Puppeteering.
Magician.
Yeah.
Where did the vape juice come from?
That's magic.
Anyway, Maddie, you were saying.
Maddie just commented that, no, that sounds like that it should help.
But and we've already talked to Harlan. Is there anything else we can think of to do? I mean, I am supposed to go back at 9 or 10 tomorrow night.
Will you have a date?
No, just looking at a picture of some funny folks we saw watching us when we were picking up that thing you put out there.
People watching.
Did you see anyone while you were out there?
No.
There's two up on the
As high as two, admittedly. No, she doesn't say that.
two figures up on the mesa. Couldn't get much of a look at them with just eyes, but the little intern I was with said might be able to get a better look once they. She had some word for it, but apparently the camera can get a closer look at them than we could.
Art probably knows the term. I just don't remember what it was.
Are like binoculars like a common thing? Is
Capture
that something
device?
realistically exists?
No, absolutely. There's
Yeah,
telescopes.
okay.
And that.
Yeah.
But is that
Spyglass.
that kind of thing that like I would like have on my hip or something I would?
I think it's like
explicitly
1,000
have to
gold
seek
in the
out?
PHP.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
on the
yeah,
player
this-
thing.
Well, here's the
That's
thing.
true.
I think that a scion of House Slyrandar would indeed have a personal spyglass.
Oh.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't.
I swatted out of his
I
hand.
have. Yeah.
I'm selling this for crack. But speaking of technology, just pointing out, some of you have encountered
I'm still ticklish.
surveillance equipment before.
Yeah.
If you're talking about an attack on a train, then that might be worth thinking about.
Oh my, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
probably more
What do we
arms.
know about the surveillance equipment on the train?
I thought there wasn't really any by the sound of it.
There wasn't a whole lot in terms of monitor. There wasn't like a live video feed of each of the cameras or anything like that. However, there would be in a police station.
There's also another lead to follow, potentially, which is we know somebody has the other crushed Firefly device, which may have a recording or something on its memory. Whatever its magical data
yeah.
print, I
It
guess.
It didn't seem much for it when you got. Wait, which one do you?
I replicated one.
Right.
I replicated one, but I'm talking about the one that
The
we
real
destroyed on
one.
the one that we destroyed, the real one. It might have some kind of imprint on it. It might have some kind of trail we could follow, something we could find out potentially.
It's possible.
Well, I think so. I think the point Brendan was trying to make is that there's probably footage of all of us being arrested and
Yeah.
brought in and interrogated.
There's that.
Which,
too.
incidentally,
No, not-
is proof that we were on the train.
But also,
Yes.
also we give exact contradicting testimony to this.
And proof that there's only
That's
one
that's
workhorse.
that's not quite what I was getting at. What I was getting at is that theoretically the body of this Warforged is either in a jail cell or on a metal slab somewhere in the citadel.
Got it.
That's a little bit better than a Firefly.
You're really thinking we're going to try and get that?
I'm not saying that you need to. I'm just saying it is an opportunity that you guys hadn't discussed.
Don't know how much Colette would appreciate that if he got caught at that.
Yeah.
Whole
That
idea.
would be making
how do
the
you-
memory of a friend.
At the same time, that guy is our best, maybe our best lead. Not so much for getting the heat down, but just for learning about
I'd
what
also
he
like
was
to
after.
add,
That thing's in Colette's
Well,
hands.
wait,
She's already
wait,
going to
what
leave.
you got to say, Art?
if we're gonna go get that some proof of that existing. Like, you can't take that to the editor.
Right.
That's way too obvious.
Yeah.
That has to be some kind of anonymous tip, something we just send in on the side.
Well, what
If we do this.
if we can find out somebody who works there who might have access to it and just pay them to do it, or tell them, like, get the editor to offer a reward for it or something like that.
No.
If it's there, there are presumably people interacting with it.
That's not a bad idea.
I don't want to bust my ass in there.
If the editor, she feels like it doesn't exist, often the reward's no risk, won't find anything. But if it does exist, she'll get it. She should be happy with that idea either way, you'd think.
It could work. How do we get that idea to the editor? Maybe mention something in passing to the intern, or.
Well, you guys are going back tomorrow.
Well, she is.
Well,
Might be the kind of thing.
I don't know if I'll be meeting the editor though.
I'll say that the sense that you got from Celis is that she's interested in publishing things, but she doesn't expect her folks to do the hustle on this. Yeah. If there's a story, then she'll bite on it when she thinks that there is a story there.
well, Colette might have contacts in that place herself.
We told her what we were up to. She might be willing to help. I mean, she wants us to stay quiet too, I'd assume.
It's possible.
Yeah, I think she wants us fairly autonomous, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'd rather not lean on her too much if we can avoid it.
Agreed. But just an idea.
Bust in the place. Just find it right away.
Will we be able to get access to our mugshots? Like, are those city records?
those are on our character sheets when we open.
Yes.
You type exclamation mark characters.
The thought being, if we can get, say, Maddie's mugshot, that's pretty big proof she was on the train.
Yes. So I think that you could get a copy of those. Experience, however, dictates that there's going to be a fair amount of red tape attached to that.
Yeah.
And does it
A few weeks at the very earliest.
does that back up your story or start to shoot holes in it? The story we've crafted so far.
The story we crafted was that I was on that last train cart that got decoupled, and
Right.
we got picked up.
But also
And
that Maddie was
Maddie.
your
Yeah.
bodyguard.
Maddie was with me.
But that she's your bodyguard.
Yeah.
For the rest
I
of
don't think a mugshot of both of us
You
getting
already
arrested
saw
together
me.
would be.
You almost saw me when
Yeah.
I got in a fight with it.
Yeah.
But a couple of weeks is quite a
Too
while.
long.
Although if we were able to procure it another way, if we want to do a daring raid of a police station, steal copies of a
The
mugshot.
whole idea was to reduce the heat on us. so-
Yeah.
I just don't know how much that's worth. I mean, yeah, it would prove that Maddie was there. I don't think that's really what's in question.
She wants that robot if she can get it.
Yeah.
Not Warforged, sorry.
I think that might be a bit much. I think that would work against our interests. I'd much rather Colette be taking that thing apart than any of us having to
Well,
show it to a
We need
newspaper.
evidence
I
of it,
think
not
that-
the actual bot.
Yeah, I don't think she wants you to like deposit a corpse in her office. She's, what? Thanks. Finally, Spider-Man is destroyed.
Maybe we
But
just.
I think
pictures
she-
of the Spider-Man would be
She
good.
wants evidence that this mysterious attacker that you say exists does exist.
Wait, we just need a camera. We just picture of it, right?
Yeah.
We don't even have to go ourselves. We can probably find some guard who doesn't make quite enough money. He's willing to take a picture of it.
That's what I said.
Oh.
I mean,
I thought you were just
Oh, I-
elaborating off. So.
I thought you were talking about the mugshot of me still. Sorry.
no, but that's fine.
That's actually, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do X's idea from a half hour ago. That everyone ignored because she's on drugs all the time and we just assume that none of her ideas are good.
Same.
reasonable.
Okay. In which case, you need two things. You need a camera
And someone to ask.
and someone to ask. Now, getting a camera, that's going to be a pretty penny. But you could rent a camera for the day.
I like that idea.
Cool. And then you're going to need, so I think a couple of you need to get your hands on a camera, which is going to require maybe just a little bit of putting boots to pavement and heading into the market. We're just trying to suss out kind of a place that you might go.
Art could probably help with that.
Art would be a good.
Art worked in the
yeah.
trade district for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good call.
Right.
I could go on with my alias as well, so that we can't get tracked back as renting out the camera that may have taken this photo.
Well,
Yeah, perfect.
Sounds good.
Okay, and then so let's talk that a little bit, and then someone else can investigate finding maybe a crooked cop that'll take some pictures. So okay, Ark, I think you remember sort of a secondhand, not electronics, Magitronics.
Magitronics.
Think of a secondhand Magitronics shop run by a dragonborn named Isaiah. Who is? Are you going yourself, or just pointing it out to Reese maybe from across the street, being like, "That's the joint"?
Yeah, probably
Okay.
point out to Reese then.
Yeah.
Reese has got the better
Sure.
people skills.
So it's more, it's like kind of like a pawn shop, but also like a repair shop. It's the kind of place where it looks like there's like a lot of busted magical equipment in here, and there's just a enormous dragonborn in the back with copper scales, who's basically like working on 3 projects all at the same time. There's just a huge mess of the place. What's
Hi. Hey. Cool.
Hawk Draken.
This is your shop? Oh. Well, pleasure to meet you. I'm looking to get some sort of photographic camera, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Are you buying or leasing?
Leasing, preferably.
Coin for the day.
All right, very good.
Spectacular.
We can do that. Gives him a sack of coins.
It's a week's wages if it's one coin.
Absolutely, yeah.
that's a lot of coin. Wow.
Yeah.
It's an expensive camera. Okay, I think he gives you a overview of its basic functionality. Shows you how to zoom. Shows you how to record video.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, where's selfie mode on this?
Mustache moving all over his face in each picture.
Sick, brah. 85 degrees.
Puppy filter.
Yeah. How many coin will we need for like a mithril selfie stick?
Lots.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
so
if there's any like sort of paperwork, he's going to put down Jonathan as his name and
Jonathan Woodworker.
Taylor Thomas.
Taylor, Jonathan Carpenter Thomas.
Yep.
Yep.
JCT.
Not the Taylor Carpenter.
Spectacular. So
I love home artifice.
It's a great show.
give me a Arcana check.
Okay. Natural 1.
Oh no!
You know, you've studied a lot of magic. This
camera's the best you've ever seen.
it seems very good,
Nice.
but it's also like very complicated, but also you're like, it's kind of difficult. He's running through a lot of jargon. He's got a very thick accent, and sometimes he coughs smoke, and it's just sort of like a whole lot to take in. And so you feel like you've got the instructions, but
It should be no problem.
you also might not have the instructions.
It's
But
fine.
we'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
All right, who's hunting down a Citadel cop? A guard.
He's willing to help, but she doesn't have social skills, so I feel like I can leverage some of her skills as far as finding someone. But
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
kinda same
maybe
here.
Ix would maybe have a good idea of like where someone on the wrong side of the law might hang out.
Find somebody at a Buc-ee's who just lost. That kind of a thing. Somebody who might need coin.
Sure.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, so I think maybe you and whoever it is that's accompanying you heads
I can
down
go
to
with you.
Cogs.
Good idea.
Finds maybe a street corner that's sort of a known sort of destination for folks who are trying to get their money back in a timely fashion.
Yeah, Ix will she'll sort of like sit down on the corner like with her cape pulled around her, sort of like she's just a bum. I mean,
Sort of like.
it's a solid disguise.
It is.
I'll take advantage on that disguise real quick.
Yeah, of
But,
course.
she's just gonna wait like when people who look like they might be law enforcement or whatever come poking through, someone who has like, oh, that guy has trimmed nails and a crew cut. You know, it's like he doesn't look like he lives down here. She's gonna just like say in these cans, she'll be like, looking to make money. And she won't even look at him. She'll just keep her head down when she says it.
Sure, absolutely.
Basically, she's looking for a cop that knows thieves' can. Is what
Yeah,
she's really
absolutely.
looking for.
So Lynn, what are you doing during all this? Are you also like posted up? Are you in hobo mode?
My thinking was that Lynn would be nearby and I would bring them to her
Yeah,
to do the actual
yeah,
negotiation.
Lynn and Maddie are around the
In
corner.
like a
Okay,
close,
okay.
like a
Maddie's
close
that got a prior appointment, remember?
Oh, right.
Gotta wait on
then-
that.
I'll-
Yeah.
Has to
Lynn
be.
and
You have a
Farrah.
literal
We're all
ninja.
busy.
I have a ninja friend now. This is
I'll
great.
stand there and look somewhat imposing.
I think you guys would almost certainly post up on a rooftop
Yeah.
Yeah, Ix has her way around doing
overlooking
anything
this
at-
corner.
at city level.
And you hear, okay, so I think you do this, and you use Thieves' Camp to like try and put it out there, and you hear sort of from up above you, and sort of this weird little echoing, this very, very deep, but upsettingly like disarming voice of like back to you in Thieves' Camp, like, yes, I'm down on my luck.
Oh, God.
And Lynn, you're a bit chagrined to see the rotund, enormous form of
Yeah.
Rufus wearing his full Onion Knight getup.
Julie,
No, of course not.
assistant cop.
Oh,
Ix
shit.
knows this dude too. Like when she hears
Oh,
his
yeah,
voice,
yeah.
she's like, and she'll say back to him, it's like,
Biggs and Wedge.
Yeah. Maybe not this one.
follow me, easy money.
No, maybe not.
And then she'll get up and she'll start heading up, you know, whatever, like stairwell up or
Sure,
whatever
of
they took up
course.
there.
Okay. Like, none.
Rufus kind of
Should
like
we like
looks at the
screw this
stairwell
one to
and is like,
not be a person we do? Like, oh
Yeah.
God.
it has to like turn most of his body sideways. And
It's okay. Ix gets partway up and she's like, huh, wow, I'm so high. They're like both bent over.
Rufus gives you like a too strong pat on the back, like, don't worry, we're almost there.
She's like, yeah, thanks. And she'll like,
Come on.
she'll spark up a cigarette and walk up the rest of the way.
That'll help.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm feeling winded.
Oh.
The rest of the campaign has been on that stairwell.
Yeah. Chapter over.
Oh, it couldn't have been down the alleyway downstairs, could you?
She's like, well, anyway, and she'll gesture over to Lynette.
Oh,
who
it's you.
I assume, would Lynette be in a disguise, I assume, or no?
I'm not dressed like I was on the train, but
Sure.
I'm never dressed as like
Actual you.
I'm always wearing like wigs and various
Right.
like explicitly staggering things all the time. So
Farron, I
There's
assume,
always
is
an
just
ask.
in the shadows.
Yeah.
invisible.
Ix will just post up at the top of the stairwell and just make sure that no one else wanders up.
This seems like an incredibly bad idea. This seems like the worst idea.
Are you gonna communicate that in this moment?
I'm trying to think of how.
Ix is just sitting on the staircase smoking. She's not much help to you
Lynn's
now.
just like,
She's like,
No.
Lynn, Rufus
No.
looks at you. You can't tell. There's no eye holes. He's
Yeah.
just sort of like, so what's the deal? And I think by this time you've like connected with Reese and gotten the camera, and maybe also like what you think might have been a rundown on how to use the camera.
Well, so Ark was with.
That's what I was gonna say. Ark might interject a bit after like you got the goods and you know how to work that, maybe.
And so
Yeah,
like
but Reese
okay.
does.
Ark,
Reese
Ark
knows how to use it.
overhears
So.
the
Of course
camera
he does.
explanation, and Ark's
Right.
like, "Oh God, no!
Yeah, no, I think
Uh,
Ark can correct for.
Please,
yes.
Ark, correct that."
Ark, can you give me an Arcana check to see if that's a
Sure.
thing that you can do?
Wait, I don't trust that one.
I wouldn't.
Make,
I don't trust that one. I trust this one.
make science.
Yeah. 21.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, you've used one of these plenty of times. You probably repaired a couple of them in your day.
He's covered wars, you know.
Sure.
This
he
and
has
this.
covered wars.
No, I'm not using it.
forged.
That
It's
thing
all-
you said to take was the delete, the get rid of everything button.
Press this button and it'll autofocus. Press this button and it takes a picture.
That's the self-destruct button.
No,
Actually.
no. I was
The self-destruct
like,
button.
as you're explaining, I'm like, you press this one, then this one when you
Yeah,
pointed at the thing.
right,
Okay,
right.
like
That-
that. Like we don't need. as a person with a very
Yeah.
overcomplicated, absurdist camera.
This is
There's
record.
2 buttons you need on
This
a
is
camera.
record. This is stop recording.
Okay.
Snap and self-destruct.
Okay.
Selfie and
It exposes all the magic films.
Selfie distract.
Yeah, selfie.
So
Yes.
as they come up the stairs and Lynn first realizes, oh shit, it's this guy. She's already next to Farron and is like, this is one of the guards. I really want to turn him away. This seems like the worst person for us to recruit.
Of course it's
Do
a
you have
guard.
any thoughts on this?
We were looking for guards.
Not just a guard, but one of the ones who is attached to the people who are suspicious of us and know us. Prior connection was worrying me. If you say we should go,
Rufus did play it cool though.
Yeah.
that's right. Was he the one who
He was the
said?
one who was like,
oh, he was the cool one.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was
the
the
cool
Oh
one.
shit! No,
Doesn't give a
okay.
shit.
He was
Okay.
the one that was like, "This is a pedestrian.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, I'm. Rufus is cool.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not saying he's Onion Knight, but he's kind of like Onion Knight.
He's kind of like
Yeah.
So
what's the deal?
we have
How do I get paid?
Oh, right, we have to pay him.
Yeah, well,
Not it.
Not it.
not it. I already paid for it.
He already paid for the camera. I guess it's on us.
well,
You're the ones there.
I think the party can figure out how it is
Yeah.
that they wanted to pay this
Okay.
person.
yeah, we'll throw him a coin, and I guess I'll pay the coin this time.
Upon receipt of the goods.
Upon receipt of the goods.
Yes.
Upon receipt of the goods, and verifying that the goods are good.
Just pictures of his
we've-
leg.
We've heard that big scary Warforged from the train might be in the Citadel. You're hoping for a picture of him. Just quick in, take a picture, then bring that out to us.
One coin now, one on delivery.
I'll pay on delivery.
Wow, you're
Unless
not
you
even gonna try to fucking talk this dude.
Yeah,
down.
no,
Okay,
seriously.
you can try and negotiate.
Lynn's gonna try and
I was
handle-
hoping you just kind of appeared from the shadows.
Yeah, why
I'll
not?
pay later.
Multiple pictures from different angles might be good too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
much more difficult to fake. You might be lowballing what we need here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna need. 2 coins that's a fair amount of coin.
Yes, it's fair. For the task that you are asking me to do.
Definitely
An
press for,
illegal crime.
definitely press for the multiple pictures. From
Yeah, we're
different
gonna
angles.
for 2 coins. We're gonna need multiple pictures from multiple angles. Something
Deal.
that-
All right.
They're all multiple angles of his foot.
Well, he's not going
They're
to.
just of him.
Yeah.
A dog.
of the Warforged.
No, I mean, of the Warforged
particular-
foot.
And just
Particularly his
the
arm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Particularly his arm.
that's where I was going with it.
Yeah.
So this is the one I'm gonna. Let's.
You got a camera?
I do. This is how it
Well,
works.
we probably need to set a timeline for him.
Yeah.
That's absolutely the kind of things that we would ask.
Into the campaign.
We would need this. Could you get this back to us by tomorrow?
2 coin now, one on delivery.
Day after tomorrow.
How long's the lease? Isn't it a coin per day?
Oh, is it a coin a day?
It is a coin a day.
In that case,
Try to-
for 2 coins,
Dude,
right?
talk this dude down. You got
Yeah.
some.
Yeah,
you
no,
got
no,
social
seriously.
skills. Use your
I'm
social
gonna
skills.
have to use
Social
social skills.
Use your social
I'm
skills.
gonna try and talk him down
Not too many
to
no's.
one now, one on delivery
getting
for
half a month's
the.
wages.
Yeah, that's a lot.
of money.
So am I
Off the books and
rolling
untaxed.
persuade?
You tell me.
Onion Knight's just smooth
Yeah, how
like
are
that.
you going about it? What are you
I like
doing?
Onion
I'm
Knight.
going to try and persuade him and say,
Okay.
look, this is a real sweet deal. You walk in, you take a couple pictures, but it's got to be something we can afford. 18 plus 5. 23?
3,000.
5 coins now.
Deal.
One now, one on delivery. Here's the camera and a coin.
A single copper.
Make sure he knows how to use the
No.
camera.
And yeah, I teach him how to use the camera in a... Does it have like the preview mode where you take a picture and you can see what the picture looks like?
Totally.
We do a test photo to make sure he's got it
It
down.
takes a selfie with you.
No.
Don't give the
we
guard
turn that in.
pictures.
Do not.
all those pictures. Of
Hashtag doing crimes.
Lynn looks at the selfie, makes sure it took it correctly, and then she immediately deletes it the hell off the camera.
The camera self-destructs.
Oh no!
Does the camera
That's
have
the delete function.
Does the camera have something on it that like indicates it came from the shop and is on lease or something?
So it has a timer on it, so unless a particular code is entered into it, after a certain amount of time, it'll lock out.
Okay, so
you
you can't just
steal it.
Yeah, that's what I was worried. Like I was worried you
But it
might
doesn't
steal it
have-
and pawn it for
But
like
it
5
does-
coin.
It doesn't have like a seal or anything like
Right.
that, so you
Bet
can't
I
just
could
look at
break
it and
this
go
code.
like, "Please return this to."
Yeah, but it would be difficult for him to pawn in its current
Yes,
state
one
unless
of-
he could.
It would also be useless if you decided to just keep it.
Yeah, that's
Just
what I was
like
checking.
books.
I don't want him to. I don't want someone that desperate for
Or
coin to be
library.
given an expensive camera and just run off with it and never be seen again.
No, I thought of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we.
Where am I? Just meet you back here, or
Seems like a good spot as any, yeah.
could we meet at the bottom of the stairs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Tomorrow morning.
Do you want to take the elevator down? That might be.
Ix will say, I'll pass by you in the morning. We'll just pass it off, just nice and quiet.
Yes.
I hope he just rolls down the stairs.
Loner and bears.
He's Onion Knight. He can just like pull his arms and legs as and rockets shoot out of the holes. He just spins through the air down the stairs.
No, obviously,
Like a fictional turtle. You
obviously
guys say
he plunges and takes the lowest amount of damage that
It's not
way.
Gamora Knight.
Portal Knight.
Turtle Knight.
Turtle Knight.
Portal.
Cool.
Portal.
Those are
Okay,
Dark Souls
and then I don't think you guys have anything else to do this evening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything
the
is the next
next-
day.
that's the
We'll
next
get
day.
to that. We'll get to that. So I think in the next morning, sure enough, you post up again, and you spot the Sir Lord of Turtle strutting down the street. Give me a sleight of hand check to make the switcheroo.
Please don't drop the camera.
24.
24.
Camera
I
explodes.
assume you pass him a coin from someone.
I'll give you the coin.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, if someone else is paying for it, otherwise she might just take it and go.
Yeah, Farron
That'd be
Volunteered
hilarious.
for
Yeah.
the word.
Yep.
The worst person for us to make mad. He's like the one cool guard so
What?
far.
And as soon,
Do you check the pictures before you hand them?
I was gonna say,
She'll probably round
as
the
soon as
corner.
you get it, you probably duck into an alleyway and just like flip through. And sure enough, there are a couple of shots of unmistakably this enormous Warforged with some detail shots of his big coiled arm.
Nice.
Score.
And sure enough, he's on a slab. It looks like whatever state this guy is in, he's not moving anytime soon.
Sell these for the paper for a coin.
My only
Like-
one.
She's like, maybe not me, but
Yeah, but no, that's.
I was gonna say, why don't you sell these?
Okay.
Also, before
Okay.
Can't be anyone else there.
or actually, I
At
was
least
about to
anyone
say,
who was there themselves.
well, both of you guys are pretty good at mixing and matching your appearances. I'm a half orc with half my skin burned off.
Yeah.
Showing up at the reporter's office.
That's fair.
I have
What if
a.
you were a half orc with half your skin burned off with a mustache? Sorry, Brandon, go ahead.
Oh, I have a request for Ark. Is there any way we can make a copy of these photos before we hand them over?
Presumably?
That's a thing you can try to do.
Like
yes.
a recording crystal or something?
Give me an Arcana check.
And Maddie assist again.
Absolutely.
Alright, Alright, you got advantage.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll another one.
A
18.
little.
I haven't really used one of these before. What's that button do?
Delete them all.
Maybe we don't have the supplies, or
I don't think you're gonna. So it's not that you don't have the supplies. It's the sort of thing that you don't do all that often.
right.
You can stress to succeed it if you want to, but
I'll do that.
otherwise the data is probably going to be corrupted.
I'll do that.
How do you how do you manage
Art's
to
probably
dodge
also
this,
interested in
this
it.
error?
Well, actually, Ark's probably been working with a lot of different stones over time.
That's true. You've been
And
doing a lot of that.
A few of them are actually kind of like more like quartz or crystal,
Yeah.
just to try different things and mix it up. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, I guess actually, I didn't think we had what we needed, but maybe this will work, and just kind of try it, and then
And basically use that as a disc.
yeah.
Cool. No, that works perfectly. Take a point of inspiration for that.
Thanks.
Cool.
Cool.
And
Not
sure
bad
enough,
idea.
you've got a copy of these photos.
Nice. Now we can find Spider-Man.
You got another of those rocks like that one?
He's got a whole pile of rocks.
Yeah.
But does he have one specifically like the one, or does Ark have one specifically like that one that was just
Or
used
the
for top?
quartz or whatever. I don't know. Do I?
I think you can take the time to dig through
Okay.
during your downtime, yes.
Sure.
Which we're still in, technically.
So
Same.
I'll dig through. If I
Yeah.
want any, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Alright.
So what do we got to do to get you one of those arms, baby doll?
Well, that's actually kind of why I wanted these pictures too.
Nice.
It's interesting to look at.
But in the meanwhile, what are you doing with the photos?
We should send Reese with the photos. He's going to sell them, try for 2 coin. If we can even out on this, that'd be fantastic.
So are these on a disc or something, or?
Yes, there's like a small crystal.
I'm not selling the camera.
No, absolutely not. But there are like small like geodes that they use as USB flash drives.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I don't know. Even 2 coins sounds cheap to me for what these are. I mean, this is kind of a big deal, isn't it?
See what you can get. Feel,
Yeah,
you,
feel it
you're,
out.
you're
Don't-
good at
don't
haggling and
lowball
feel
it.
out the room.
Yeah.
Get them to go as in as you can make them.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
pretty
just
boy.
give these out straight to the editor yourself.
Yeah, go in and say you have,
Okay.
just, if you tell the intern that you have pictures of the Warforged with the coil arm, I think that'll get attention through straight away.
Maybe you shouldn't even connect it to the train. I mean, it might look weird if we connect it to the train. Just say that
Sure.
we've got pictures of this thing that they brought into the
The Citadel.
Citadel that's unusual.
All right.
Let them make the connection. They'll feel smart.
Oh, people love feeling smart.
So Reese will don. I don't really know. He just kind of like picks a different person he's seen each day to like
Okay.
mimic.
Yeah,
so it's not
absolutely.
the same person, but it's not
So he
just
burns
like
off half his
Sure.
yeah. Yeah.
Electric burns are pretty unique.
And then he'll kind of like he'll kind of be like a character with like a trench coat, and he's gonna be like, yeah, I got it.
What
And-
What are you buying? What are you selling?
And then I don't know. Is there still a line
I'll
of
buy
people
that at a
trying
Yeah,
to get
absolutely.
their story
There's
in?
still tons
Okay.
of people there.
Okay.
And
then
Laura is here still like frantically
Like, in a
trying to do
cast.
her job.
Oh
No, she's fine. She is a truck. She takes damage and gives it out, no problem. So
no! She's a truck? That's weird.
yeah,
Like,
she's like
Optimus?
she's
She's Optimus
the,
Prime.
No, she's Turbo Teen.
Oh my god!
It's back.
It's never left. I wove it into my fan
I'm
cast.
still waiting for the live action reboot of Turbo Team.
It's happening live in front of you.
nice.
This is everything that I thought it would be.
Oh god.
Mrs. Bad Example says, "Holy shit! There's a bald Dracula playing." Herbie. Yes.
So I guess I'll
Okay, so
try
you've
and
got a trench coat.
make my way up
You're in line.
to Laura,
Uh-huh.
and
Ugh.
I got something you want here.
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ,
Oh, this is a place of business!
it does
This
get
is
to your
business.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, this is so good.
Wow.
Wow.
Burns, we got a flash.
Yeah.
He pulls out a little flash drive.
Aw.
It's just my dick.
Oh, it's so much smaller than I thought it would be. What have you got there, little guy?
Not
Well, wait,
Yes,
wait.
This is very important. Photographs secret from within the Citadel? What's it called?
Yeah.
It's the Citadel. Very, 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 very hard
You've
to
got photographs from inside the Citadel.
Hmm?
Do you work at the Citadel?
get. No. I procured these through my own means.
And what are they? Oh my god!
Not.
That's literally the worst thing I've seen all day.
And he saw
Say a
Turbo
lot.
Team.
And what is there inside the Citadel that you would?
It's very important. Let me just show these to your editor.
Why don't you show them to me and I'll decide if the editor gets to see
Can
them.
I do that?
Is there like a printout we could have made with one of them?
No, I mean, but she's got a device that she can
Talk
Yeah.
into it and
like,
just.
Okay.
if these are nudes, I'd like to kill you.
I mean, technically, the Warforged is not wearing clothes.
It had a
Some of
cloak.
them are.
Yeah.
It had a cloak.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
And like as soon as it brings up the first one,
Art, where's an apron?
Hold on, we got. What?
as soon as it brings up the first one, her eyes go wide and she's like, "Stay here. The editor will see you."
Good.
10 coins!
Takes the flash drive back and walks in. Hello.
What's your name?
Oh, doesn't matter what my name is.
It does. I'm asking you so I can figure out what it is I'm going to write on the check.
Oh. Well, in that case,
There's Jackson
Jarvis.
Ebron.
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Is that a family name?
It's my name.
Don't care.
Good. Here you go.
How
Wait,
much, how much is the check for?
Yeah, wait.
$1.
What does it say on there?
1 coin.
No. 1 coin? You know how much trouble it took to get these photos?
Couldn't tell you.
I had to walk
Exactly.
the staircase.
Well, let me tell you that these are worth 5 coin.
5 coins. Is that right? Are you a professional photographer, Mr. Jarvis?
I'm a professional intelligence gatherer.
Well, I'll tell you what. Regardless of whether or not that is true, I can, without a doubt, confirm that you are not a professional photographer. These pictures are garbage.
They're the best you're gonna get. Within the Citadel.
It's absolutely not, because regardless of whether or not I purchase your photographs, I now know that there's something worth taking a picture of within the Citadel. You have mercifully provided that information to me free of charge. I can kick you out right now and then send my photographers down to the Citadel, bully my way past the guards and get pictures of what it is that I want, and get them nice and crisp and high definition. Just like we do here in the news business, N-E-U-S, news!
You could suggest that it's been moved since the pictures were taken.
We've had a security. They clearly didn't have a security breach already.
Think you're the only person that's got eyes in the Citadel? Got eyes everywhere.
What if I told you that it wasn't there anymore?
Hmm. Deception, perhaps.
That definitely feels like
I mean, he looks pretty deceiving, so.
He looks like one of the bad guys from Carmen Sandiego.
I constantly have, I'm just holding this here like,
I hope
it's
it's just
mine.
like it's just black in his eyes.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
Like shadow and then a brim
I
hat.
hope we can catch this check.
Nice. That's 23.
Where is it?
We don't know.
We now. Is that like the royal we? Are there multiple members of the Jarvis Intelligentsia?
I don't tell.
You've told me everything already.
Have I?
You have.
Well,
First, don't get in a land war in Asia.
3 coin.
3 coin it is.
Scroll, scroll, scroll.
Tips his hat.
Give that to the clerk on your way out. She'll see that you're paid.
Very good. Good doing business with you. Walks out.
You're-
Clerk, hey clerk, how's it going? I got this money.
She's got like a lip balm. Here.
Excellent.
Go! Save yourself!
Alright. Makes his way back.
Kaboom.
Alright.
1 for me, 1 for you, I believe.
Oh,
and
thank
1
you.
for you. Made our money back.
Yeah.
Good work.
Whew.
Thank you. It
We
was
do-
good work.
We do
good
it.
work.
It was.
Well, I think that puts to bed the main objective. I just need to get back there tonight and see what those
The
folks watching
Mesa
us from the
Man.
Mesa were.
I think that's going to be a good use of time.
I think so, and I think that next time we will see the results of your newspaper enterprises. But that night, I think Maddie pays a visit to the Kornberg Chronicle offices, and thankfully it's a quieter scene. And Laura is happy to show you to her desk. Because, sorry about all the to do. It's a madhouse in here, but we do good work. We do good work. Anyway, I've got those that one picture that we managed to take.
Let's have a look at it.
Is it just Maddie? Is anyone else there?
I think it was just going to be you.
Yeah, Maddie was the only one invited. So.
All right. Okay.
Some guy in a trench coat with a brim hat.
It's not that, but sure enough, she is able to use her personal like desk device to zoom in on the footage. and
Enhance.
enhance, basically. But it's magical enhancement instead of the non-magical type.
It's all
She
magical.
zooms. She zooms, and it sharpens.
Upscaling,
It sharpens
yeah.
more. And you can't tell too much about these folks. They're wearing big cloaks, but they're wearing masks. They're wearing masks with plain animal-like features, with red stripes, like the kitsune mask that Farron wears.
I fucking knew it.
And we'll pick up.
Knew we were gonna get attacked by a ninja.
We'll find out more about all that next week. Good game, everyone.
Good
game.
Attack of the Ninja.
That was great, guys.
That was
Yeah,
good.
thanks.
That was good.
Cool. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. I'm so sorry about the dropped frames and such. As always, this is a work in progress. We'll try and figure that out for next week. Hopefully the VOD is clear of purpose. If not that, check out the YouTube upload. That will probably be nice and crisp and even like the Wenceslas snow. You know, from Christmas.
Don't know.
I have only ever seen snow once. Well, I saw some fake snow once when I went snowboarding. It was more like slush, and I fell down a lot. Anyway,
Snowboarding.
that's a story for another time. Thank you all so much. Thank you for everyone who's subscribed and donated and given your support. We really, really appreciate it. And we will see you again next week for more Shadows over EBERRON. Have a good night.
Bye, stream.
Bye.